Live from Chatham High School, it's time for Colonels football. The Altavista Colonels on 105.5 KD Country. Thank you so much for joining us. I am Kyle Haney, and with me, as always, my tag team partner and esteemed colleague, the one, the only, the big O, Agent Zero. It's quite a lead in there, wasn't it, Mr. Oscar Briggs?
Yeah, nowhere but downhill after that. Yeah, we are. We're here at Chatham. We always love coming here. Coming in Chatham 1-4. Of course, the Colonels are 3-2. The records usually don't mean a whole lot when we come in against these two teams.
Yeah, it seems like in recent years, last year being the exception probably, this game has been very close, very hard fought. Sometimes it comes down to the last drive. Like I said, last year, Colonels obviously with a once-in-a-lifetime type of team ended up beating up the Cavaliers pretty good, but we will point out that Chatham scored the most points on the Colonels' defense out of anybody last season. The Cavaliers got 21 points. And like I said, it ended up being a 42-21 Colonel victory. But more often than not, this is a close ball game.
And you run into a Paul Greco's team, and they're tough. They in the trenches. They ball control. They don't quit. Hard-nosed football.
Yeah, that's kind of been the MO. You're right. A lot of ball control, a lot of running the football, occasionally sprinkling in a pass. They've been passing a little bit more this year, and we'll hear about that and so much more from head coach Mike Sharness as we will chat with the head man as we usually do. Got to sit down and talk to him before the game tonight. He was in good spirits. He knows he's in for a hard-fought battle. We talked about the game last week, and Oscar and I will do all that and more here on the Subway pregame show as we get started from Chatham High School. Kickoff about 30 minutes away right after this on 105.5 KD Country.
TCM Industrial Services recognizes the importance of high school athletics by sponsoring this award-winning broadcast. TCM Industrial Maintenance and Construction Specialist providing welding, millwright, erection, and fabrication services to all forms of industry throughout the Mid-Atlantic region from offices in Altavista. TCM Industrial Services wishes Coach Sharness and the Altavista football team a safe and successful season. Go Colonels!
English Construction Company has been in the building business since 1909, so it's only natural that they appreciate the building process. They recognize the fact that organized sports programs build character as well as bodies and minds. They know that high school sports build our youth into more well-rounded and more productive adults. English Construction Company is proud to be a sponsor of high school sports and salute all athletes, coaches, and teachers. A word of praise and encouragement from English Construction Company with offices in Lynchburg.
GMC, come on in, bring the family, see your friends at Highview Motors, GMC, from small to tall, we've got it all, Highview Motors, GMC.
Some people have never tried food at a Mexican restaurant, so we asked Chad Shelton from Shelton's Plumbing and Heating about his experience.
I wasn't so sure what the green stuff was, but they slipped some on my plate one day, and now I won't have a meal without guacamole. Still can't spell it.
At El Cazador Mexican Restaurant, if you have questions, they give you the answers in English. Mexican and American foods, affordable prices, and fast service. Try it today, El Cazador, Main Street, Altavista.
Your station for high school sports play-by-play is 105.5 KD Country.
Subway pregame show returns from Chatham High School. The Colonels in town to take on the Cavaliers, talking once again with head coach Mike Sharness. And Coach Sharness, a 34-0 win over Nelson last week. You guys pull away there in the fourth quarter. What was the feeling after the game? You're satisfied you pulled away, or maybe a little disappointed that it took so long to get the big lead on them?
I think initially we're frustrated in that we didn't do a little better job offensively in the first half. But I think it's also expectations on what we've done against Nelson County over the years, which is beat them. And I think our first year here we lost to them, and since then we've beat them, and we've beat them with relative ease for the most part. So when you don't get that big lead at half, you get a little frustrated here. But the biggest thing that I think we need to understand, whether the folks in the stands do or not, it is that we won a football game 34-0, and we got a W. And that's, for our kids, that's the biggest thing that we talked about to them Monday, was that the fact, and we looked at film, we made, individually, we made some mistakes that were crucial on offense, on 3rd and 4th down, and they made a stop. And that was crucial. It was one mistake. And so we got to, you know, we work on that. We work on trying to fix that. And if we do fix that, you know, if we didn't make that mistake, we would have put a lot of points on the board earlier in the ball game. So I'm happy with how we came back. Mateo had a great special teams effort, back-to-back type things, and yeah, we're very pleased with the win.
Let me ask you something about the penalties. They continue to be a little bit of a thorn in your side. It seems like you're getting that illegal procedure penalty more when you put the wide receiver in motion for your jet sweep stuff, or faking the jet sweep. Now, obviously not always, but it seems like it's happening more with that motion. Is there a reason why, or is it just kind of luck of the draw of when somebody jumps offside?
No, we've kind of pinned it on what you just said there, with the defense potentially talking during the course of the cadence with the motion, you know, talking about movement and some of our guys jumping. So we've worked on that this week also. But we came out flat first drive. First drive was very poor, very disappointing. If I'm disappointed in anything from the previous ball game, is that for opening drive of the second half, very, very, very poor performance by us on that particular drive. But we you know, held tough and won the ball game.
It was a big win. You mentioned Mateo Malback with the 2 scores. Another guy that I've really been noticing lately is Jonathan Montague back there at running back. He's maybe not the same style of back that you've had, but he's pretty doggone good. He hits the hole. He's a load. He likes to use that spin move when he gets, you know, one defender draped around him to try and get away, and he really seems to be developing. Just a sophomore too. Yeah,
we talked about that in the coach's office. He's quietly getting a lot of things done, and you're right. He's not the flash and the speed. He's a different type of runner, and he's, yeah, knock on wood, man. He's having a great year, and just like to keep it up.
Well, let's transition now to the Chatham Cavaliers tonight. It's a team that's given you some problems in years past, but you've always found a way to beat them. Another dangerous Cavalier ball club tonight?
Exactly. Offensively, they're going to give you a ton of different looks, formations, different plays. With skill, they'll have skill people. They always have some skill people that can make plays with the football in their hand. And defensively, they run a scheme, and we're not sure what they'll run, the same thing we've seen on film, but they'll give you different looks and stunt backers and try to create some havoc.
Well, let me ask you about your focus level this week, because Chatham is 1-4. Now, the record obviously sometimes is misleading about how good a team is, but the kids know they're 1-4. You feel like you've been pretty focused through practice this week to take care of business tonight?
Yeah, definitely. We talked about it last week. I think we mentioned it on the air as far as the playoff situation. There are no guarantees each week, and the way the point system is, for us this past week, we won our game. We came into the Nelson game as a 6th seed. We won the game, and after everything was made up, the ball games played Thursday, Friday, and Monday, we're now in 9th place. So, yeah, there's no guarantees, and we got to fight each week big time. I mean, really got to put our work in.
A sense of urgency for the Colonels tonight as they play the Cavaliers. Kickoff in about 20 minutes on 105.5 KD Country.
Stay cool in the summer and warm in the winter. Tyree Little's Heating and Cooling, on the ready to keep you comfortable year-round. Locally owned and operated, just a call away, with over 20 years experience. Licensed and bonded. Tyree Little's Heating and Cooling, specializing in heating, air, plumbing, and electrical. Any season, anytime. Tyree Little's Heating and Cooling, keeping you cool in the summer and warm in the winter. Give them a call today. Tyree Little's Heating and Cooling, Gretna.
prompt, confidential, professional. A-Town Bail Bonds, 434-401-0253. Local, reliable, available 24/7. A-Town Bail Bonds, 434-401-0253. When a friend or family member is arrested and jailed, call a professional. Call Chip Rourke and A-Town Bail Bonds, 434-401-0253. Get answers. Get help. A-Town Bail Bonds, 434-401-0253.
This broadcast is brought to you by the members of the Katy Country Sports Club.
Chef's Drive-In, where the shake machine is shaking and dozens of flavors to choose from.
One Stop Mart, where the gas is cheap, the beverages are cold, and the chicken is kicking.
El Cerrito Altavista. Throw on a sombrero, shake your maracas, it's El Cerrito time.
Altavista Medical and Oncology Massage Therapy. Broad Street can help relieve your pain.
Vista Foods, Altavista, your hometown grocery with the freshest produce and best meats.
McDonald's in Altavista, committed to the community and bringing the world's favorite food.
Steve Farmer Auto Sales, Main Street, Altavista, best deals on wheels.
Colonel's Football is brought to you by the Sports Club on KD Country.
Here's more award-winning high school sports with Kyle and Oscar on 105.5 KD Country.
Subway pregame show returns here from downtown Tightsqueeze, Virginia. See how hard it is to say sometimes, Oscar? Good story about why this area is called Tightsqueeze, but we'll save that for the extended Subway halftime show that we're going to have. We've been informed that halftime tonight will be a little bit longer than usual, and we'll get into some of that, like I said, when the halftime show arrives. Until then, let's tell you about the great things going on at Subway. It's still Reuben time at Subway for a limited time only, of course. The turkey or corned beef Reuben, pretty good. I had that again today, Oscar. We said we had to get away from the flat teasers.
That's right.
We made that a trio pick last week. Everybody on staff did that. What was your choice?
Turkey Italiano.
Okay, I love that.
Yeah,
I love that.
It's solid.
It really is.
I mean, it's really a relatively new item to the menu, too, within the last year or so.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think they started that last basketball season, but you're right. Turkey Italiano is fantastic.
Deluxe.
In all regards, absolutely. And the Colonel's football team has been solid this year, Mr. Briggs, coming in at 3-2. Let's talk about last week a little bit against Nelson County. 7-0 ball game for 3 quarters of that game, a little over 3 quarters, in fact. And then the Colonels turn it on. They get some turnovers, just particularly on the special teams there. Mateo Malback with a fumble return for a touchdown. Then he returned a punt for a touchdown. And you heard some of Coach Sharness's comments. He said, I think some people have these expectations that we're going to come in there and blow everybody out, and it doesn't always work that way. So, and he told his guys, too, hey, we got the win. We pulled away late. It's good. Points in the fourth quarter count the same as they do in the first quarter. He was pretty satisfied with the victory.
Well, and Nelson played a good football game for 3 quarters.
Sure.
Altavista went up 14-0 early in the fourth, and then, we said it time and time again, it really turned weird at that point. Yeah, I don't recall seeing any type of game, 3 consecutive kickoffs fumbled, and those turning into points for a team. So, again, it was just really odd, and Altavista took opportunistic, took the opportunity and, stepped on the throat and took them out.
And Coach Sharness addressed some of those penalties that you and I both talked about. And he mentioned that, hey, if we avoid some of those penalties, we probably do score 14 or so in the first half instead of 7. So, again, most of his thoughts were positive. Now, obviously, he's a football coach. He can always find something to work on, and you can bet that he and his staff did work the guys pretty hard this week. And it was a good week, too, because no rain like last week. You didn't have to worry about either going inside or modifying your practice plan. So I think he feels pretty good about the Colonel's week of preparation leading up to tonight.
And let's not underestimate these juniors and seniors have been in this program for a time now. They've been through 2 state championships. They have high expectations of themselves as well.
Great point. The expectations are there for the players. It's not just the coaching staff. The players share those as well. Excellent observation by you. Let's get back to the Chatham Cavaliers tonight. We touched on them briefly. They've struggled a bit this year, 1-4. We'll tell you about their strange week that they had. They played 2 football games in 4 days last week. They played Gretna on Monday on a game that was obviously supposed to be the previous Friday, but got delayed due to the weather. So they played Gretna on Monday and lose that game. Then they turn around and play Dan River on Thursday with really only one legitimate day to prepare, and obviously things didn't go well against Dan River. Cavaliers scored a field goal, but that was it. So that was really a week of horrors for Coach Grekus and his ball club.
Well, and we happened to run into Coach Grekus down on the field earlier this afternoon, and he certainly was optimistic about their chances tonight, upbeat, and as he always is.
Yeah, he is. He's an upbeat guy. He likes to have fun out there. I think I got the sense, didn't you, that he knew he might have his hands full tonight. He knew his guys might be in for a long night. But Cavaliers are going to play hard, and you never know. As we've seen all year, and anybody that's ever watched football has seen, turnovers are a great equalizer. I mean, you have to hold on to that football. And we should point out last week that the Colonels did fumble the football away 3 times, but managed to get all 3 of them back, Oscar. If they lose 1 or 2 or 3 of those, that changes things.
Yeah, absolutely does. And you know, we continue to talk. This is still a very young team with not a lot of experience at the skill positions under the belt. You know, 5 games plus a scrimmage or 2, still young, still inexperienced, and continuing to learn and develop as players.
Yeah, great point. These skill guys especially, getting hit on the varsity level is a little bit different than getting hit on the JV level, and sometimes that ball will pop loose on you. Another quick timeout for us here on the Subway pregame show as we roll on. It's the Altavista Colonels in town to take on the Chatham Cavaliers. You're going to hear it all live on 105.5 KD Country.
Apple Auto Glass is your windshield repair and replacement center in Lynchburg. You get a free car wash with all windshields replaced in the shop. Apple Auto Glass wants the fans to enjoy the Boys of Fall this high school football season.
When I feel that chill, smell that fresh cut grass, I'm back in my helmet, cleats, and shoulder pad. Kings of the school, man, where the boys of fall.
Apple Auto Glass salutes the Boys of Fall.
Bank with the local team. Bank of the James on Main Street in Altavista. Stop by our office today to talk with Bobby Walker and his team of local bankers to learn about local banking with Bank of the James. We offer a full line of personal and business banking products and services, including online banking and bill pay, personal and commercial loans and lines of credit, and mortgage loans. Bank with the local team. Bank of the James. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Installing Atrium vinyl replacement windows is like an investment in your home that can begin to pay dividends right away. You can save up to 30% or more on your home's heating and cooling costs. Add to your home's equity and add to its value by upgrading its looks and energy efficiency. Custom crafted Atrium vinyl replacement windows. Invest in your home's future with English's.
English's is your complete home center.
Business 29 Altavista.
Finch and Finch Funeral and Cremation Service. A family serving family since 1905.
Life is full of opportunities to show someone we love them. One such opportunity is the funeral or memorial service. Finch and Finch helps you celebrate the relationships they shared and honors the memory of your loved one.
Finch and Finch Funeral and Cremation Service. A family serving family since 1905.
More live high school sports action on 105.5 KD Country.
Subway pregame show returns from downtown Tightsqueeze. The Chatham High School Cavaliers hosting the Altavista Colonels tonight. And our football game made possible by these fine folks. El Cazador, be sure to try their new menu, Main Street in Altavista. Tyree Little's Heating and Cooling, keeping you cool in the summer, warm in the winter, and comfortable in between. Bank of the James, we're making a difference in banking and in our community. Best Bet Motors, a respected name you can trust with quality vehicles. Route 29 and just south of the airport. The Village Barber Shop, current and classic cutting technique for gentlemen and boys. Go see Danny Barber and give him a try. Hello to you, Mr. Danny Barber, and hello to the folks at Best Bet Motors. I think they tune in on occasion. They're big KD Country fans up there, Oscar. Let's move on and continue with our starting lineup. A-Town Bail Bonds. Be good, but if you can't be good, call Chip Rourke. PCM Industrial Services, serving the Mid-Atlantic region with quality maintenance and construction services. Feller Chevrolet, a short drive will save you money. English Construction, wishing our high school athletes an exciting and injury-free game. Altavista Office of Economic Development, helping Altavista grow. And, of course, the tagline contest is down into the final stages. We'll save that for halftime again, but there's a lot of great things going on as we see so many old friends. My good buddy Chase Hall approaches the press box here to say hello and gets us all distracted, but we enjoy it. We like seeing the old friends. Where were we? The First National Bank focused on providing an extraordinary customer experience. English's, your headquarters for Atrium Vinyl Windows. Zaxby's in Lynchburg, daringly flavorful, absolutely craveable. The Altavista Moose Family Center, bringing communities closer together and celebrating life. Select Air Mechanical and Electrical, your authorized trained dealer. They're online at selectairmechanical.com. Finch and Finch Funeral and Cremation Service, a family serving families since 1905. And a big hello to Trey and Rob Finch and all the other Finches. They truly are a family affair over there, Mr. Briggs. We also can't forget about Highview Motors. From small to tall, Highview has it all. Apple Auto Glass, mobile service with pickup and delivery, celebrating the boys of fall. Streaming online audio at kdcountry.com or with the TuneIn app, brought to you by Chad Redcoast, your All-State agent in Windhurst. And don't forget about the player of the game, the Radio Shack player of the game, Oscar. I will say, I stopped by Radio Shack today. So much going on in there. Also, your home for White's Music Shop inside the Radio Shack. They've got 6 or 7 really nice guitars, strings, a few of those other things I picked up. I did a little picking. They got a banjo in there. I'm not as good on the banjo as I am on the guitar. You know that, but I'm trying. I'm getting there.
You're better than I am on either one.
I know I am. No Earl Scruggs, though. But, yes, Radio Shack player of the game, always exciting. And this is the Subway pregame show. The Simple Six menu at Subway is still around. 6 of their best 6-inch subs now made just for you. Meals every day. $6 for the Simple Six menu. Captains have begun to assemble at midfield. Altavista's captains are working their way out there. Maybe national anthem time, Oscar, but we'll hang out for a brief moment as the crowd is growing here at Chatham High School, and the Colonels have brought a decent little cheering section down Route 29.
Yeah, they have, and again, it's a little bit difficult to see here on the Chatham side, but it looks like a decent crowd here tonight for them. And as you alluded to earlier, a little bit of an extended halftime show, and we'll talk about that as we go through that.
That's going to be fun. That's really going to be our time to shine there, Mr. Briggs, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, that's where award winners make their money, right? It's not the play-by-play. It's
that's easy.
Exactly.
The athletes take care of that.
Sure. That's Oscar and I obviously just joking around if you don't realize that. Oh, maybe there's some truth always to every joke. Big shout-out to our sound engineer, Eleanor Haney, our producer back at home base. Boy, she was getting us pumped up earlier, and she, clearly one of the best in the business, an award winner herself. So she knows what it takes, and she always has fun on these Friday night games. Colonel's going to run through their paper banner, of course, that the cheerleaders create, and the Chatham Cavaliers have a similar one. What were the other games in the area we were keeping an eye on tonight, Mr. Briggs? Oh, yes, Dan River and Appomattox.
Dan River at Appomattox was the big one. We're also looking at Gretna and William Campbell. We'll try to keep you posted on some of those scores. North side, I think, is at Stanton River. That gets some interest around Altavista Heritage at Franklin County. Always interested to see what Brad Bradley does.
Mm-hmm. Jefferson Forest is at Rustburg, and, of course, the Red Devils. Sure, they know they have their hands full, but they're going to give it their best shot. 1 or 2 other games, I think, around Oscar. Liberty at EC Glass. Brookville is at Amherst. So a lot going on around the area, and like Oscar said, we'll try and keep you updated as much as possible.
Yeah, that should be an interesting game in Rustburg.
Yeah.
It may be a track meet. It will be a track meet.
Sure, yeah. Our old friend Navy Jones continues his torrid scoring pace. I think it'd be interesting to find out the number of yards Navy has amassed just in his career on offense, defense, special teams. I mean, he gets up and down the football field quite a lot.
Well, and Dante Jones is already approaching the 1,000-yard mark. He's right at 902, 13 touchdowns. So, again, very potent offense there as well. Seth Baker in the backfield.
Yep. Let's take it back to this game for a moment here before the national anthem. Plenty of great athletes on the field for both of these ball clubs. Trey Preston is probably going to be the quarterback for the Chatham Cavaliers. Cavaliers running a lot of spread and some other formations, and Coach Grech has said earlier in the week that they have worked on simplifying it a little bit. Going to run more out of the wishbone, so there's a connection to Jefferson Forest right there. Maybe a little bit more power football like we talked about and like we have been accustomed to. On the other side for the Colonels, you heard me mention to Coach Sharness, Oscar. Jonathan Montague, just a sophomore, is quietly putting up some really good numbers himself in the backfield.
He is. He's been the workhorse, and he's got, I've got it down here somewhere, 477 yards on 67 carries. That's a nice average. Jake Adams is averaging 13.5 yards per completion. That's a nice little stat as well. So
another young guy, just a sophomore as well. It is national anthem time. We'll step aside. Subway pregame show returns right after this on 105.5 KD Country.
Hello, this is Jerry Motley from 1433 Altavista Moose Center. Asking everybody to come on down and join us and see what the Moose is all about to help us support our Moose Heart, Moose Haven family. Anybody's welcome to come down and take a tour of our building and see what's going on. Come on down and we'll let you in and we can have some fun. We're looking forward.
Meet Jerry and the rest of the Altavista Moose family and become a member. The Altavista Moose Family Center on Lynch Mill Road.
Hey guys, this is Terrell Salmon at Best Bet Motor Sales. Stop wasting time running all over town to these car lots that advertise easy finance and easy credit. Come on by and see us here at Best Bet Motor Sales. We have guaranteed credit approval, low down payments, warranty on all vehicles, and vehicles more than affordable starting at only $59.95. You can check out our inventory at bestbetmotorsales.com. You can check out our weekly specials on Facebook. Or better yet, come on by and see us. Best Bet Motor Sales on 29 South.
The Altavista Office of Economic Development invites Altavista area residents to participate in selecting a new marketing slogan for the town and developing a new marketing campaign. You can choose from one of 4 choices. For more information, stop by the Office of Economic Development at Town Hall. Deadline to vote on your favorite Altavista slogan is next Friday, October 16th.
This is 100% convenient mobile banking with local First National Bank.
With our First Snap mobile app, you can securely check balances, make deposits, pay bills, transfer money, and much more.
It's easy to use, and we even have a video demo on our website at firstnatbk.com.
And it's free, so search First Snap mobile app and download it for free today.
Remember, banking from anywhere, anytime will help you bring home more bacon.
First National Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Back to the press box for high school sports on 105.5 KD Country.
Captains have assembled at midfield for the pregame coin toss. I am Kyle Haney. He is Oscar Briggs, and we thank you so much for joining us. Oscar, just to jump back briefly to something we were talking about for the Altavista Colonels, penalties. They only had 4 last week, 4 penalties for 20 yards. They had 9 the previous 2 weeks. So we mentioned the penalties last week against Nelson County hurt them, but maybe the Colonels are actually trending in the right direction as far as that stat goes.
I think that's a valid point, Kyle. And again, last week the weather was a factor as well. It was raining, the wind was blowing. Coin toss has been held here. Colonels did win the toss and have deferred, as is their MO. So they'll kick to Chatham first and let Walker Allen use that booming leg and put Chatham at the 20-yard line.
Yeah, it seems to be what he does, and it's a nice, tight Bermuda turf here at Chatham, so I don't think the run-up will be a problem at all for Walker Allen as far as the footing goes. The turf here is a little yellow at Chatham. You and I discussed it. It looks like maybe something you'd see more in November on a Bermuda field, but weather is different everywhere you go, and who knows what the circumstances are. Weather forecast tonight, Oscar, didn't look as good a few days ago. They were talking about 60-70% chance of rain. But now the forecast looks better. We see a little bit of clouds, but they don't look like storm clouds. It looks like if we get anything, it would be later on in the night, maybe in the fourth quarter, but probably more like overnight, actually.
Yeah, it certainly looked like 3 o'clock this afternoon. There were some thunderheads forming, but never came to pass. And I ran through a little bit of shower in between Altavista and Gretna, but hey, it's a beautiful night here. It feels like football.
It does. It was a little bit warm at times today, but it's starting to cool off, and I have a feeling by about halftime it's going to be the perfect weather for a sweatshirt or a pullover of some kind. It's going to get a little bit cool, and And I think our days of seeing temperatures in the 80s are just about over. So fall truly is upon us. And like you said, it feels like football weather. Halfway through the season, when the Colonels at 3-2, halfway through the regular season, that is. Colonels at 3-2, Cavaliers at 1-4, and we discussed the playoff situation, how it's changed a little bit for Altavista. They are only going to have 12 teams now in that 1A East region, not the usual 16 that we've become accustomed to. And Coach Sharness mentioned, hey, we won a game last week, and we actually fell in the playoff standings. So every game is important. You can't overlook anybody.
Well, and tonight's game is important as well, and really could be considered a trap game. Altavista's got to be extremely careful not to look forward to playing Appomattox next week.
Good point. I mean, when you got the Raiders on the schedule, everybody seems to know right now that Appomattox is the team to beat in the area, at least as far as the old Dogwood district is concerned. So you're absolutely right. You can't overlook Chatham here tonight. Colonels are actually in a huddle about 4 yards behind the football, placed on the tee by Walker Allen. Altavista in the road white jerseys with orange pants, black and white striping on the pants, black helmet. Chatham in the home black unis. It's a red and white number, black pants with no trim, but there is some trim on the jerseys, and they've got black helmets. Here comes the run up by Walker Allen, kicks it deep. This might not get to the end zone. No, fielded on about the 2-yard line by Khalur Preston. He starts up the left hash mark, makes the first guy miss, trying to make the second man miss, but he can't, wrapped up and pulled down. That was number 2. Jonathan Montague had a handful of jersey and was able to sort of give him the old rodeo move down to the ground.
Yeah, Jonathan made initial contact. He shrugged him off, and Jonathan was in pursuit and was able to track him down from behind as he tried to make a move to the outside.
Good coverage. They're going to start around the 15-yard line with this yellowish kind of turf, Oscar. The yard lines don't really stand out too well, especially down closer to the end zones, and that's where Chatham is right now. We'll call it the 15-yard line, middle of the field. That's where the Cavaliers will scrimmage from, working left to right from our perspective here in the press box at Chatham. Misdirection play is the first call, running off right tackle. Looked to be Khalur Preston. No, it was Trey Preston, pardon me. Got a few yards on the first down carry, Oscar. Not much else as he tried to get into the linebackers there for Altavista.
No, he ran off tackle and looked like there was a seam open in the middle. He cut back, and Colonels did a nice job pursuit, picked up about 3.5 yards, maybe 4.
Numbers for Chatham are not the easiest to identify, but we're doing our best. It looks like Starling and Preston, the 2 tailbacks in the wishbone for Chatham. Here's a passing play on second down. Walker Allen has the receiver all bottled up. It might be a gain of 1, but not a whole lot else. They went to Hunter Furr, the freshman out there on the near sideline. He did get a gain of 1 or 1.5, and will set up 3rd and 6 for Chatham.
Jake Adams was on the blitz on that play, and that's that little play where they just do a little wide receiver, takes about 2 steps back, and quarterback hits him, and Walker Allen was all over that play.
Allen had it well diagnosed from the start, broke on it quickly, and we'll see if Chatham tries to use that to set up maybe a pump fake and go type of play later on. Same wishbone formation, 1 wide out to east side. Passing play here on 3rd and 6. Quarterback got 8 up in the backfield. Jacob Adams is there. Stephen Farmer is there. And guess who's on the bottom of the pile? Oh, yes, it's the human wrecking ball, number 44, Dante Poindexter.
Boy, that was a coverage sack, too. He had several seconds to throw the ball, was dancing around in the pocket, and just nobody to throw the ball to. Nice job by the secondary from Altavista shutting that play down.
Excellent point by you, Oscar, because he did have some time initially to throw, but the coverage was good. That allowed Poindexter and Farmer to get in there and make some contact. Mateo Malback deep to return the punt, standing in Altavista territory. This is a good punt. Mateo's going to field on the 50 and gets hit right as he makes contact, stays on his feet. He almost ran through 2 arm tackles, and then 3 or 4 more Cavaliers came down the coverage and finally shut him down. But, boy, Mateo Malback, kind of a bullfighter-esque move there as he waited to the last second to get out of harm's way, and then he did take some punishment at the end of it.
The first player hit him right after the ball got there. The second player hit him. He went down to a tripod position, kept his knees off the ground. I thought he was going to break away, but too many people from the cavalry for Chatham there, 3-4 people, and he did pay the price for it.
It was a good high-hanging, booming punt for Chatham, and that allowed that coverage team to get down there. Colonels will start this first drive from the 49-yard line, barely in their own field territory, left hash mark. Jacob Adams at quarterback. He's going to put a man in motion. That's Mormon, lets him come through the formation, pulling lineman, the handoff to Montague off right tackle. Johnny had a man wrapping up his ankle, and he was able to just sort of slug forward for about 4 or 5 yards. Good opening play for the Colonel offense.
Did that little jet sweep motion that send the player in the slot back across, and that always draws some attention from the Colonel's opponents.
Yeah, that's what Coach Sharna said. He said he sees a lot of defensive lines shifting and stunting and making calls, and he thinks that's why the Colonels were jumping offside. Still no score here. Early stages of the ball game. 9:17 left to play in the Select Air first quarter. It's a 2nd down and 5 play. Quick hitter on the passing play. They flip it out to Mateo Malback. Malback makes a couple guys miss, dodges a third tackler, and then finally hit right at the first down marker, and he falls forward across the 40 for the necessary yardage to move the sticks.
And we talked about the weather playing such a prominent role last week, and the Colonels weren't able to get the ball early to Mateo Malback on the offensive side of the ball. Got it to him early tonight, and it pays off with the Colonel's first down. 9:02 remaining here in the first quarter, no score.
Far hash mark this time for Altavista. Fresh set of downs from the Chatham 39.5-yard line. Road jerseys. Jacob Adams takes his time to catch the breath, looks over the defense, running play. They go straight up the middle to Jonathan Montague. He gets them into the second level. Good initial blocking from the Colonel's O-line, and then he hit the linebackers, drags a couple guys forward for a nice pickup again on first down. Colonel staying on schedule, 2nd and 4 after a 6-yard gain from Johnny Montague.
Yeah, you talk about staying on schedule. In the old days, it was 2 to 3 yards and a cloud of dust. Hey, the Colonels with this offensive line, it's Johnny Montague with 6-7 yards at a pop, and that's
right.
That's a luxury to have.
Ran right behind center Kenny Brumfield and also favored the left guard Stephen Farmer just a tad. Colonels flinched up front. Might have been the blocking back Dante Poindexter. That'll back Altavista up 5. 8:17 left to play in the Select Air first quarter. Still no score. Colonel's first possession of the ball game. Started on the Altavista 49-yard line. If you joined us late, Chatham got the football to start things. Colonel's defense forced them into a 3-and-out and the punt. 2nd and 9 now for the Colonels.
Now they're not on schedule.
No, they've fallen behind schedule, and that's how that penalty works. I mean, the penalty, it's only 5 yards, but it matters. It really does. Changes play call, changes a lot of things. 1 blocking back, 3 receivers. They put the blocking back Poindexter in motion over there to the right. They're going to throw. They flip it out to Malback again on the screen. He's across the 35, across the 30, making a beeline for the pylon. Mateo Malback, touchdown on the passing play. A 38-yard pass and catch from Jacob Adams to Mateo Malback. 6-0. Colonel's on top to start things off, Oscar.
That was the same play that they ran on the other side. Chancellor Mormon did a great job blocking the corner and keeping him from getting to Mateo. Once Mateo got past him, nobody was going to catch him.
Great blocking on the outside by Mormon. You said it. Mormon's a guy who's really put on some muscle to his frame. He was already well put together. Now he's even more well put together, and he showed it there, blocking on the outside for the speedster, Mateo Malback. Walker Allen on to try the extra point. Adams will hold. Everybody appears to be set and ready to go here. Snap is a little low. Adams picks it up, gets to the block. Kick is good, and the Colonels now lead 7-0 over the Chatham Cavaliers. 8:08 left to play in the first when you come back to 105.5 KD Country.
It's a good show, man. Man, that was awesome. Loud crowd. House salad time.
I'll bring it on.
Yes, sir.
Okay, you're going to have to do the encore tonight, buddy.
No, they want to see your face.
They're chanting your name.
Not it, man. They're saying Brett.
Well, I'm taking this with me.
No. I'll hold it for you.
Seriously, don't touch my salad.
Time for my encore now, son.
The house salad. Grilled chicken atop mixed greens, cucumbers, Roma tomatoes, cheddar and jack cheeses, and fried onions. Served with Texas toast. Zaxby's, indescribably good.
Zaxby's, Wards Ferry Road, Lynchburg.
Your high school sports station with award-winning coverage on 105.5 KD Country.
7-0 early lead for the Altavista Colonels. A 51-yard scoring drive to open things up. Oscar, nice mix of run and pass. They did a little bit of everything, little dosage of Jonathan Montague, and then get it to Mateo Malback, your playmaker. All of a sudden, you got 7 points on the board.
Yeah, 8:08 remaining here in the first quarter. Colonels leading 7-0. Nice opening possession.
And the Colonels' defense opened up well, too, with the 3-and-out to start things off. It's the start you want if you're an Altavista fan. If you're a Chatham fan, it doesn't make you feel good, but you do know there's a lot of time left. It's 8:08 left to play in the Select Air first quarter. Just walk around and go ahead. I'm sorry.
The strategy used to be when you won the coin toss, you always wanted the ball first, and
Sure.
that's certainly changed in the last few years.
Yeah, it really has. Booming kick this time from Walker Allen will not get in the end zone. Fielded on the 1 foot line. Return man got hit hard. Oh, boy, that is Johnny Montague again. He delivers a shot and then pops right up, clapping. Jonathan Montague made a beeline right for the return man and dropped him in stride.
You're right. He was in full launch mode. Not that he launched the illegal move, but he laid the lumber to him.
Man, he was shot out of a cannon, and Montague just sifted his way through. No blocker could really make a move to slow him down. Chatham will start again on their own 19-yard line. So these last 2 kicks for Walker Allen, Oscar, despite not getting in the end zone, have worked out pretty good. Allen's out there as a cornerback right now. Chatham has the offense set. Wishbone formation again with 2 wideouts. They give it to the fullback. First man up the middle. He's got some room. Hit hard right around the first down marker at the 29, and that's where they'll spot it, I think, maybe at the 28-yard line. Quick hitting play.
Well, it fooled a lot of people. Certainly fooled the Colonels. Got all the way to Mateo Malback, but Malback is playing safety. Really never had a chance to even get started.
It hit so quick we couldn't even get the number. It was George Grekus, head coach Paul Grekus' son, on the carry. That fullback dive hits really quick, and the beauty of it is you don't have to block that long. You only have to block for a split second, maybe less than that in some cases. Grekus still in there at the fullback, going a quick count. Gave it to him again, looking for the first down yardage on 2nd and 1, and they have it. Wasn't a whole lot of running room there, but just forced his way ahead enough for a first down.
Well, and the thing of that is, too, is when you're anticipating the team set up in the wishbone, everything's meant to go to the edges. Mm-hmm. And that, like you said, that quick hitting fullback play really is effective.
Really is one of the benefits to running an offense like this. You've got the twin tailbacks back there, and like you said, you can get outside on either side with either of them, but you can also go right up the gut. Straight Preston, number 11, the quarterback in the crouch, ready to take the snap on 1st and 10. They hand it to Grekus again, I believe. No, they gave it to number 4. That's Victor Starling. Starling got flushed out outside along the far sideline. Nothing doing on the outside running play on first down for the Chatham Cavaliers.
So it was stopped up in the middle. 2 or 3 Colonels hit him. He bounced outside, and the pursuit was just great from the Colonels. He had nowhere to go. They're going to give him a loss of 1.
2nd and 11, far hash mark. Colonels defense flying around, getting to the football very quickly. Montague out there at linebacker along with Diaz Escura, Jacob Adams. Few more guys out there in the linebacking crew. Of course, the Colonels employ 5 linebackers normally in this 3-5 defense. Wishbone formation on 2nd and 11. Preston wants to pass, looking over the middle. Slant route too high, incomplete. Coverage was decent from Walker Allen, but I think if the pass was on target, Chatham could have had a pickup there.
I totally agree. Walker was trailing by about a step, and ball was just overthrown.
Slant route is hard to stop if you're giving a guy a 7, 8, 9-yard cushion. So it's a play. If you can throw it on target, it'll work generally. Here comes 3rd and 11 for Chatham. Altavista's defense licking their chops just a little bit. You see the defensive secondary led by Mateo Malback at safety. They're communicating, ready for a stop here. Clock stopped at 6:26. They fake it to the fullback. It's an option play right. Preston pitches and the ball's on the ground. Cavaliers are going to scoop it up and recover the fumble, but it is a big loss of yardage. This ball is recovered on the 17-yard line. This is going to set up 4th and very long, so that time the fumble not turned over, but definitely burning the Cavaliers.
That was Matt Aiken, who tracked him down from behind and actually punched that ball loose. Great play by Aiken.
I thought he tried to pitch it.
No, Matt Aiken tracked him down and literally punched the ball loose. Great play by Aiken. Great awareness, nice technique.
Hustle play for sure. Teo Malback deep to receive the punt again here on, we'll call 4th and 23. Snap is good. Kick gets away, although the Colonels brought a decent rush. This is high-hanging punt, not as deep as the other one. It'll land on the Cavaliers' 45-yard line and take a good Chatham bounce over to about the other 45-yard line. It looks like that's where the Altavista Colonels will start their second drive with 5:35 left to play in the Select Air first quarter. 7-0 Colonel lead. I'm Kyle Haney. He is Oscar Briggs, and we're so glad that you can join us here on a Friday night.
Kyle, and I certainly see a difference in the defense coming out tonight as opposed to Nelson County last Thursday night. They're certainly more aggressive, flying to the ball like they had the 2 previous ball games.
I agree 100%. I mean, they really have some aggressiveness and some attack there on that Colonel's defense. 3 wide receivers for Altavista. They'll hand it off. Montague gets bumped in the knee and falls forward to around the 50-yard line, so we'll call it a 5-yard pickup on the inside running play from sophomore Jonathan Montague.
Chatham substitution. Josh Adams is coming in, 6 feet tall, 305, and he looks every bit of it. He is a solid kid.
Adams is a good player. He's a first-team all-district player last year, all-conference, and he is a center on the offensive side, and on the defensive side, he is a disruptor wherever they put him. They flip it to Jonathan Montague. Montague hurdles one man right at the first down marker, falls forward on his own momentum to the 40-yard line. Jonathan Montague with a nice running play on second down. So it's been a steady dose of Johnny Montague, and he's really making the most of it. He'll come out for a breather now as Nelson Dews checks into the ball game.
Boy, and let's give some credit to that offensive line. They're blowing those holes open for Johnny to be able to get downfield 8-10 yards at a pop.
Great point. That offensive line working hard. They've got some experience to them. Guys like Kenny Brumfield, Kagan Cox, Stephen Farmer. They can really play, and they can really move some guys around. 3 wide receivers here. Jacob Adams going to call his own number, keep it himself. Tries to sidestep the first guy, and sort of halfway does. Gets himself past the line of scrimmage, but not much else. Maybe a 2 or 3 yard pickup by Jacob Adams, number 11, the sophomore quarterback for the Colonel. Rolling clock here, 4:20 left in the first, Oscar. Colonel's 7-0. So set up 2nd and 7 for Altavista. Walker Allen is split out wide as a receiver. Mormon and Malback are your other 2 receivers. 1 tight end for the Colonels. Nelson Dews set up right behind Jacob Adams as a running back in the offense. Adams steps into the snap, hands it off to Nelson Dews. Dews hit hard, lowers his shoulder a yard past the line of scrimmage, and then falls forward on another play where they tried to run right up behind the center, Ken Brumfield, and got some good yardage out of it.
Yeah, nice run. Brings up 3rd and about caught a long 4. Colonels have not hesitated to put the ball in the air.
It's true, and you may consider going for it on 4th down here if you did throw an incomplete pass. Adams and Dews discussing the play call. Same formation, 2 wide receivers to the left. That's the near side from our perspective. Far side, Walker Allen alone, wide out. Hard snap count by Montague. Nobody jumps offside. They run the play. Tried to hand it off to Nelson Dews, but couldn't get it to him. Adams is going to keep it himself, breaking outside to the right sideline. I think he's going to have the first down. That play was designed to go to Nelson Dews, but Adams mishandled the snap a little bit and then did the best he could after that and just tried to take off.
And Adams comes off the field.
You're right. Took off his helmet like maybe he's got an equipment malfunction. Now I think he's back in there. First down for the Colonels. They did get the yardage, not by much.
He's not going back out until he gets an earful from Coach Sharness.
We first
setting the play.
Yep, 1st and 10. Clock continues to turn here. 3:04 left to play in the Select Air first quarter. It's a 7-0 Altavista lead. I think he's still working on his helmet. I think Nelson Dews is trying to buckle it up right for him. Now they look over to the sideline.
Coaches are out on the field. They're going to call timeout.
Yep, you're right. Colonels took too long, and they burned the timeout. We'll take it with them. 2:47 left to play in the first. Colonels up 7-0 over Chatham on 105.5 KD Country.
The Village Barbershop, an old-school 1960s-style barbershop, offering classic and current cutting techniques for gentlemen and boys. No appointment necessary. Responsible pricing in a clean family environment. Village Barbershop, open Tuesday through Friday, 8 to 6, Saturdays till noon. Stop by and see Danny Barber at Village Barbershop, serving Altavista and surrounding areas from 619 Broad Street. Give them a try.
Now back to the action with Colonel Sports on 105.5 KD Country.
Colonel's football returns from Chatham High School. It's an everybody thing, Oscar, this high school football. Hipsters, everybody, old school, new school.
Headbangers.
Headbangers. I love it. We had a few headbangers earlier tonight. The musical selection in the pregame warm-up for Chatham was very metal-centric. A lot of headbanging stuff. It was a good time. 2:47 left to play in the Select Air first quarter. Colonels call the timeout to get a few things straight and possibly fix whatever was wrong with quarterback Jacob Adams' helmet. That might have been as much the reason for the timeout as anything. They put Mateo Mall back in motion. They let him go through the formation to the short side. That's the right passing play. They're going to flip it out, and it's complete. Receiver is down around the 30-yard line. That was Jamilion Jones on the grab. Colonels couldn't hold the block quite as long to let Jones bust it deep there, but a complete pass, and it looks like they're not really moving the yardage stick, so maybe we'll call it 2nd and 9.5 for Altavista.
Yeah, I think that's about right. And that's the 4th time they've run that little play, and it's been really successful twice, and twice has been no gain. But hey, that's not a bad percentage.
No, that short pass works out like a running play a lot of times. So, you'll accept that on a running play. Sometimes you're going to get no gain. Sometimes you're going to get stopped at the line of scrimmage. 1 tight end, 1 blocking back, 2 receivers. Dante Poindexter in the game to block for Nelson Dews. Dews got the handoff. He's across the 25, down to 20. Breaking for the far pylon. Did he stay in bounds? Yes, he did. Touchdown, Nelson Dews on the running play. Took it right in behind the big cat, Dante Poindexter. Dews shrugged off a tackle there around the 15-yard line, Oscar, and then was able to tightrope that near sideline and sneak it into the end zone.
I couldn't see who the receiver was blocking downfield. It was one-on-one, and Nelson had an option to either cut it back inside or get to the outside. Did a great job, great vision getting to the outside, and like you said, tiptoeing down that sideline.
Good, fast running there from Nelson Dews. Boy, when he gets going full speed, it's pretty impressive to watch. 4th touchdown of the young season. Let's say young. We're about halfway through. 4th touchdown of the year for Nelson Dews. Snap back on the extra point. Kick is good from Walker Allen. He's 2 for 2. Colonels have 14. Chatham has 0. 2:05 left to play in the first quarter when you come back to 105.5 KD Country.
A short drive will save you money.
In the market for a new Chevrolet? Fellers Chevrolet.
FellersDirect.com.
For a huge selection of new Chevrolets and pre-owned vehicles, it's Fellers Chevrolet.
FellersDirect.com.
FellersDirect.com. Selection. Convenience. Fellers Chevrolet.
Fellers Chevrolet.
Always open and only a click away.
FellersDirect.com.
A short drive will save you money. Fellers Chevrolet in Altavista.
Your home for Colonel sports coverage. 105.5 KD Country.
Colonels lead 14-0. 1 passing touchdown to Malbeck, and then more recently 1 rushing touchdown, a 30-yarder from Nelson Dews. And the Colonels up by 2 scores, Mr. Briggs.
2 possessions, 2 touchdowns, and the defense has been strong. Colonels look solid here early. 2:05 remaining, leading 14-0, Kyle.
Yes, we're proud of the quality of our broadcast, and I think the Colonels are proud of the quality of their football team right now. And I mentioned Colonel fans have made the drive down. It's not a full house on the far stands over there for Altavista, but a good crowd here, and we know we've got a good crowd listening back home, and, of course, plenty of other just football fans listening around Central Virginia. Walker Allen on to do the honors on the kickoff again for the Colonels.
And listening to TuneIn app, they're listening around the world.
Around the world. I'm telling you, we have fans in Ukraine. I'll get into that in that that halftime show again. Boy, we're building that halftime show up. It better deliver. This kickoff is a squib, going to bounce in there. Return man will get to the 25-yard line, then rode out of bounds by Jamilion Jones. Jones just wrapped him up, wouldn't let go. That was Aaron Martin that he stuck to the deck, but Martin did a good job hanging on to the football. And really, the Cavaliers are going to have their best starting field position of the night, Oscar.
It's kind of a squib kick, and Jones, again, Colonels have done an outstanding job the last several years under the tutelage of Cliff Lee on the special teams. Boy, they stay in their lane, so disciplined.
We probably don't talk about Coach Lee enough. You're right. I mean, they are so good on that kickoff return. Now, having Walker Allen helps because you have that confidence of, hey, he's going to bang it back there deep. But even in that case, on the squib kick, they got down and covered well. Give it to the fullback again. Greckos is free. Spin move there at the 35-yard line. Malbeck gets a shoestring tackle to get George Greckos down to the deck. Good, quick hitting fullback dive on first down for the Chatham Cavaliers. He's a yard shy of the first down marker. So 2nd and 1 with 1:43 left to play in the Select Air first quarter.
And Greckos is a senior, if we hadn't mentioned that.
He's been around this Chatham program for a while, obviously because of his father. Paul Greckos in his 5th year as a head coach here at Chatham. They give it to him again. Straight up the gut. I think he's got enough for a first down. Good surge. And remember, the big man up front for Chatham at the center spot is Josh Adams. He's 305, so never a bad idea to just hand it to your fullback and let those two guys kind of work in tandem. You know what I mean, Oscar?
Yeah, and when we were down on the field before the game, he's listed at 6 feet tall. I would say he's closer to 6'1" or 6'2". He's a big kid.
He is. 1:13 left to play. That's 1:13 left to play in the Select Air first quarter. And the Chatham Cavaliers want to take a timeout to discuss things. We'll take it with them. 1:03 left to play now in the Select Air first quarter. Altavista on top, 14-0 over Chatham on 105.5 KD Country.
TCM Industrial Services recognizes the importance of high school athletics by sponsoring this award-winning broadcast. TCM Industrial Maintenance and Construction Specialist providing welding, millwright, erection, and fabrication services to all forms of industry throughout the Mid-Atlantic region from offices in Altavista. TCM Industrial Services wishes Coach Chartis and the Altavista football team a safe and successful season. Go Colonels!
Your station for high school sports play-by-play is 105.5 KD Country.
First quarter brought to you by Select Air, your authorized train dealer. It's hard to stop a train. 14-0 Altavista Colonels. They've scored on both of their possessions that they've had so far. But it's Chatham Cavaliers football at the moment. Third time Chatham's touched the football. Both drives have resulted in punts. They fumbled it on their last drive, but they were able to get it back, but it put them in a fourth and really long. Wishbone formation, 2 receivers to each side for the Cavaliers. This time it's to the tailback. That looks like Khalur Preston up the gut for a 2-yard gain. Not much else. Got into the linebackers. It was Jonathan Montague helping him to the deck along with a couple other Colonel defenders.
Boy, Josh Adams was tied up with Dante Poindexter out on the edge. Boy, that's 2 massive kids.
Yeah.
Whew.
Yeah, no kidding. That's a battle that it's fun to watch. I'm not sure you'd ever want to get in the middle of those 2 guys.
I wouldn't.
Almost, I'm not going to say sumo because those sumo guys are a little wider. Dante and Josh Adams, they're just kind of thick, solid, built like a brick type of guys. Not a whole lot of fat, even though they're big guys. Passing play here on second down. Complete on the far sideline. What a grab over there on the catch by Hunter Furr, the freshman. He just jumped up and outdueled Walker Allen, took it out of the air for a 50-yard gain.
Walker Allen was with him step for step. The ball went up. Walker went up for it, and he just came over the top and took it from Walker. That's not an easy task.
Not at all. Correction, it's a 40-yard gain. Pardon me. This ball's resting on the 20-yard line of Altavista. But by far the deepest penetration the Cavaliers have gotten into Altavista territory so far. Chatham's got the offense set again and ready to go. Wishbone formation again. 3 running backs, 2 wide receivers. They give it to George Grekus. Grekus trying to find some way through the Altavista D-line, and he can't. Matt Aiken was there to get him to the ground along with Stephen Farmer, and it looks like Traquan Farmer also in on the stop.
That's going to be the end of the first quarter. Colonel's take a 14-0 lead.
Good first corner for Altavista, but Chatham driving and knocking on the door when you come back to 105.5 KD Country.
There's just one place where students are students first, and athletics are played with purpose and perspective. That place is your local high school. High school sports offer more than the joy of competition. Studies show that student athletes in Virginia are also likely to enjoy greater levels of achievement in other areas of their lives, including academics. High school sports, a winning part of a complete education.
Brought to you by English Construction Company, with offices in Lynchburg.
Here's more award-winning high school sports with Kyle and Oscar on 105.5 KD Country.
14-0 from Chatham High School. The Altavista Colonels on top. I'm Kyle Haney. He's Oscar Briggs, OB. Good first quarter for Altavista, but all of a sudden, Chatham Cavaliers starting to gather some momentum.
With a few runs by Grekus and then that pass over the top, got them in field position. They're driving, and
it was Hunter Furr on the grab there on the 40-yard passing play from Trey Preston. Furr is a freshman, 5'10", 143 pounds, as listed. One referee forgot that they switched sides at the quarters, so he had to come from all the way down on the other side of the field. And Chatham will go on 2nd and 8. Passing play again. Preston going to roll out to his right. Now he's flushed out of the pocket. He's under heavy duress, and he lost the football. Colonels have it. Excuse me. I thought maybe Chatham got it back, but no, I think it's Traquan Farmer. No, it's Jacob Adams, the quarterback, the linebacker on the blitz. It was a trio of Colonel defenders that hit Preston. Then the ball came out, and it was Adams that fell on it on the 30-yard line.
Yeah, discretion, better part of Valor there. He should have thrown that ball away. He had the opportunity, and 4 Colonels were just all over him.
the rush got there in a hurry. Preston, I think it was a designed rollout, but he had to roll out and get out of the pocket a lot quicker than he wanted to. Altavista going to scrimmage here from the far hash mark 30-yard line, working left to right now after the quarter change. Passing play, Jacob Adams, plenty of time to throw. He stands tall in the pocket. Oh, and he just overthrew Walker Allen. You're right. Allen had broken free, and maybe he was so free that Adams was a little surprised and put a little extra adrenaline under that football. Cavaliers want to take a timeout, Oscar. We'll take it with them and then come back and discuss. It's 14-0. Colonel's on top. 11:47 left to play in the half on 105.5 KD Country.
Good food, low prices, and great service keep customers coming back for more day after day at El Cazador Mexican Restaurant in Altavista. El Cazador is now open all afternoon, so you can come by anytime, any day, 11 a.m. till 10 p.m. El Cazador Mexican Restaurant, a great place to unwind and relax with friends. Open 7 days a week, Main Street, Altavista. El Cazador thanks you for your business.
More live high school sports action on 105.5 KD Country.
Blown coverage gives the Colonels a chance for a big passing play, Oscar, but Adams just couldn't connect with Walker Allen.
Walker Allen was 15 yards behind anybody from Chatham, wide open. I'm sure Jake's eyes were as big as saucers, and just a little bit, like you said, a little bit of adrenaline, a little bit of inexperience. You know, as he gets a little bit more experience, he'll learn to hang that ball up and give Walker the time to get under. Walker was in a dead run, just couldn't reel it in.
Yeah, you're right, and that's obviously why Chatham called the timeout. Their coaching staff clearly not happy with the blown coverage, and now all of a sudden Chatham going to regroup. Did they call another timeout? Did they use back-to-back timeouts here? Let's just keep it here. Maybe it was the Colonel timeout. We will keep it here, though, because we just took a timeout. 11:47 left to play in the Select Air second quarter. And remember, they're online at selectairmechanical.com. That's selectairmechanical.com. Okay, Oscar, now we've got a little bit of a chance to talk. I'm wondering what might have gone on. Was it a personnel issue? Maybe somebody thought they weren't in the game and they were, and the Colonels only had 10. I don't know.
Don't know if they saw something from the defensive side of the ball that they just didn't like you said, from a personnel perspective. I don't know. Very rarely will you see a timeout back-to-back with a timeout.
Well, either way, Colonels come out of their huddle. Chatham broke their huddle a little bit quicker.
But let's talk about the Colonels in that first quarter. One penalty.
Yeah.
No turnovers. Probably one of the cleaner, well, not probably, one of the cleaner quarters that they've played this year.
Good observation. First down, they were on schedule. They were gaining 5-6 yards every time. There was the one penalty. Passed the ball well. Here's a big hole for Jonathan Montague on 2nd and 10. Montague's across the 50 now dragged down at the 48-yard line, hit with a shoulder tackle by a couple Cavalier defenders. Jonathan Montague busting through the big hole on the right side there on a 20-yard running play on 2nd down.
Yeah, he ripped off 20, and we had seen earlier in the year, up and through last week even, that we had seen alternating possessions between Nelson Dews and Jonathan Montague. It looks like Jonathan might have taken some of those carries away from Nelson.
I love Jonathan Montague's running style. He carries it kind of high, a la Tiki Barber, at least Tiki Barber 2.0 maybe. They give it to Johnny again. He runs over his own lineman. Now he's at the 46-yard line, brought down by a gang tackle from the Chatham Cavaliers. Montague ran into the pulling lineman and just dropped him to the turf. Not really something you want to do, but when it happens, you do have to kind of laugh about it a little bit.
In recent history, his style's different than anybody you can really compare him to. It's a little bit more of a bruiser.
Yeah.
But he's got some speed to go with it. A little bit of thunder and lightning in one back.
Sure. I think that's a great assessment by you. And like I said, he runs kind of tall. He carries the ball up high. And as of late, he's been putting two hands on the ball when he gets in traffic, which no coach is ever going to have a problem with. And then when he gets free, he'll go to one hand. Likes to use that spin move when he feels a defender. Toss play this time to Nelson Dews. Dews is across the 45, and he is hit full stride down the far sideline. Now dropped around the 30-yard line. Good pickup there for Nelson Dews. At least 15. It might end up being 17 or 20 when he finally spot the ball. What a play. How about when Nelly hits full gear, man? He is just shot out of a cannon. It's fun to watch him run.
He certainly looks fresh and looks a little bit quicker than he has so far this year.
Don't discount the Colonels had an extra day off, an extra day of rest there on the Thursday game. Chatham did too, but they played 2 games in 4 days, so the rest might have been more needed.
These kids are 16 years old.
Good point. Good point. Far hash mark. 1st and 10 for Altavista. 10:02 left to play in the half. Handoff play here to Nelson Dews up the middle this time. Dews sidesteps the defender, still on his feet, now spun around and thrown out of bounds on the far sideline. First down yardage again for Nelly. Looks like a 10-yard pickup. 14-0. Colonels lead, and they're driving again, Oscar.
Last 3 runs, 20, 20, and 10 yards. This Colonel's offensive line is really starting to impose their will and push this Cavalier line around.
That's right. We've been talking about the backs a lot, but how about this offensive line doing a number out there? Love what Ken Brumfield does at the center spot. He starts it all. He makes a great pass on that shotgun snap. And don't forget, folks, that is a pass. I mean, that's a 5-yard pass. It's a no-look pass, too. And Kenny Brumfield, pretty doggone accurate on the shotgun snaps. Here we go, far hash mark, 3 receivers, 1 tight end, 1 running back just on Jake Adams' right hip. They put a man in motion. That's Mateo Malback. They're going to give it to him and run. Malback cuts it up inside. Man, might have had his face mask there on the right hash mark. Down to the deck. Malback's got a few yards on the pickup, but Mateo could never really turn the corner or get going full speed. I say a few yards. It's actually a 3.5 or 4-yard gain.
Chatham did a nice job of stringing that play out and not allowing a lane to open for Mateo to cut upfield.
Cavaliers operate primarily out of a 4-4 defense, Oscar, but like most teams, they can mix it up and give you some different looks and change things around. Colonels are set to go here on 2nd and 7. Different quarterback this time. It's Mateo Malback in there. Number 3 going to take the snap. Hands it off to Montague. Montague trying to go off left guard. Nothing there. Shuffled up and stuffed down in the backfield. Maybe got back to the line of scrimmage. Trying to get in behind the pulling lineman, I believe was Kagan Cox. It'll be 3rd and 6, 3rd and 7. It looks like Adams going to come back on the field and play the quarterback. Now, Mateo Malback did audition for that quarterback spot, so it's not so crazy to see him back there taking a snap.
No, that's a great point. And really, coming into the season, it was undecided who the quarterback was going to be. Adams came out of camp with the position. He's done well.
Malback in the slot right now. Montague running back right. Adams going to throw a bullet pass. Got Walker Allen complete. Allen got hit as he caught it. Yes, they will call it a catch right there down on about the 12-yard line. I think Walker's going to be just shy of the first down marker, Oscar. See where they move the stick. I think it's going to be about 4th and 2 or 3, don't you? They haven't moved it yet, and I think Colonel's coaching staff is waiting for that so they can decide what kind of play call they need. Yeah, it's more like 4th and 1 here.
I think you'll see Jake with a hard count first. Colonel's going to call timeout and talk about it, Kyle.
We'll take the timeout. We'll bring it back and talk about it, too. Altavista leads 14-0 with just over 8 minutes to play in the half. Big 4th down on the way for the Colonels when you come back to 105.5 KD Country.
GMC. Come on in. Bring the family. See your friends at Highview Motors. Highview Motors. GMC. From small to tall, we've got it all. Highview Motors. GMC.
Back to the press box for high school sports on 105.5 KD Country.
It was a 6-yard pass and catch, Walker Allen on the reception to set up this 4th and 1, Oscar. So maybe that changes your thinking about a field goal. Allen took a shot as he was going to the ground.
Well, he really did. The defender did a great job of timing the hit, and no sooner did the ball got there than did he let him have it.
Colonels broke the timeout huddle and made it halfway about to the ball, and then Coach Sharness and Coach Revis called him back, said, hey, come back here. Let's talk a little bit. They're going for it on 4th and 1. Allen's still on the field, though, as a wide receiver.
And I say again, watch for the hard count.
Absolutely. Malback, the other wide receiver. Here comes Adams. They snap it on the first count. Give it to Montague. Montague jumps over the top, and he lost the football. Football is out. The Cavaliers have it. They're going the other way. They're across the 40, across the 50. Malback giving chase. He's not going to get there. This is going to be an 87-yard fumble recovery and score for the Chatham Cavaliers. Montague tried to jump over the top of the defensive line and he lost the football at some point in the process. Cavaliers scoop it up and house it. It's number 8, Quali Witcher, I believe, on the fumble recovery and touchdown, Oscar.
Yeah, I don't think the ball ever hit the ground. I think it came out in the air. Witcher had it, and he took off quick. Mateo Malbec took chase, but he couldn't run him down.
Incredible play. Jacob Adams really had the best chance to bring him down, Oscar, and I think he got some hands on the jersey of Witcher, but was not able to get him down to the ground or really slow him down that much. Extra point try. It's Bailey Walton on to do the honor. Boy, this is a turn of events. Snap is good. Kick is a line drive, but it did get through. 14-7. Big play there for the Cavaliers. Defense has cut the lead in half for the Colonels. Altavista going to get the football back when you come back to 105.5 KD Country.
Stay cool in the summer and warm in the winter. Tyree Little's Heating and Cooling, on the ready to keep you comfortable year-round. Locally owned and operated, just a call away, with over 20 years experience. Licensed and bonded. Tyree Little's Heating and Cooling, specializing in heating, air, plumbing, and electrical, any season, anytime. Tyree Little's Heating and Cooling, keeping you cool in the summer and warm in the winter. Give them a call today. Tyree Little's Heating and Cooling, Gretna.
Your high school sports station with award-winning coverage on 105.5 KD Country.
14-7 from Chatham High School. The Cavaliers score on an 87-yard fumble recovery and touchdown, housed by Quali Witcher. And Oscar, we were talking about it during the break. I mean, fumbles, turnovers, that's football in a nutshell. You're looking at 21-0 if the Colonels get the first down and then go on to score. They would have only been about 11 or 12 yards away from the end zone. Maybe if Walker Allen field goal makes it 17-0. Now it's 14-7. It's absolutely a ball game.
Absolutely was. And the Colonels had really had dominated the ball game midway through the second quarter. And like we just talked about, very, very one of the cleaner quarters they'd had all year. And then on that drive, after ripping some big runs, 20 yards, 10 yards, nice job by Chatham, buckling up on defense, bending, not breaking, and taking the opportunity. Offense had stalled out several times. Hey, you got to score any way you can. Defense, nice job getting to the house on that play.
That's right. Sometimes when the offense can't get it done, the defense takes it upon themselves to score. Here comes kickoff from Bailey Walton. It'll drive Mateo Malbec back to the 3, but he fields it on the far sideline. Now he's going to take it up left hash mark. Malbec is free. Spin move there at the 30-yard line. Now he can't get out of a big host of defenders. Some pushing and shoving after the tackle. One Colonel and one Cavalier involved in a little bit of a scrum, really away from the tackle itself, and flags come out. I have a suspicion that this is going to be the old offsetting penalties, but you never know. Maybe the referee saw one guy start it. We'll wait for the official word.
Yeah, that's what made it so bad. It was so visible. It was out on the edge. It was out in the open field, and nobody was there to watch it.
Well, I'm going to make a point here, Oscar. I think as a society and sports fans, we really criticize the officials a lot. It's easy to do because you've got, the perspective of TV. You've got instant replay. I'm going to say this. These officials tonight have done a very good job so far. And I think all the high school guys, they don't get the credit they deserve. These guys tonight have been pretty good so far.
Well, I think that, from my opinion, the sign of a good official is you don't notice them.
Sure.
And
hadn't noticed them.
And certainly haven't noticed them, other than the one that didn't realize they'd flipped the field at the end of the quarter and had to do an 80-yard sprint. But
he got back in position.
They've done a great job tonight.
They have. Colonels will scrimmage. It was offsetting penalties, by the way, if we didn't mention that clearly enough. Colonels will scrimmage from the far hash mark, 35-yard line after a good return from Mateo Malbec on the kickoff. 7:44 left to play in the half. Colonel's still up 7. Adams going to fake the handoff, keeping himself off left tackle. He's got some room across the 45, across the 50. Sidesteps a man at the other 45. Now he lowers his shoulder and just delivers a shot at the 40, charging all the way ahead to the 36-yard line of Chatham. That is a big-time gain right there on first down for Jacob Adams. A 29-yard pickup, I think, on the quarterback keeper. Sold the fake well to Montague to start it and then had some good blocking out front.
Boy, the offensive line continues to just dominate this Chatham line, really pushing them around. Nice job again. Walker Allen was downfield leading the blocking for Jake on that play.
They get off the line quickly, too, Oscar. Coleman Teagarden is the right tackle. He's been blocking well tonight, and look who's in there, the blocking back himself, Dante Poindexter. Adams catching his breath, calls for the snap count, left foot out in front, hands it off to Jonathan Montague. Montague lowers his shoulder at the point of attack and falls forward for a few yards. Stephen Farmer was a full 9 yards downfield, blocking a linebacker just into oblivion, basically. Shoved him back. That's not a matchup you want, a linebacker or a safety on Stephen Farmer. Not if you're the other guy, anyway.
No, Stephen was pushing, and finally, just continued to drive his feet and just drove right through it.
Officially, it's a 2.5-yard pickup, but maybe more so a statement made by Stephen Farmer there on the blocking. Poindexter still in there. Montague set up on the left side of Jacob Adams. One receiver to each side. Two receivers to the left side. Adams going to keep it himself again, going left side again. Good blocking out on the wing there by Walker Allen. Now Adams across the first down. Barker across the 20 to the 15 on the quarterback keeper by Jacob Adams. Boy, it was a lot of Montague in the first quarter. Now Adams calling his own number, or getting his own number called, rather, by the coaching staff, and really taking advantage.
Well, you've got a ton of options. Nelson Dews has had some ripped off some big runs today. Johnny certainly has ripped off some big runs. Now Jake's getting into the ball game, and again, it's all behind this a very experienced offensive line.
Man, this offensive line, really one of the best games in recent memory, at least for a half anyway. 6:08 left to play in the half. Mateo Malback at the quarterback spot again. Snaps a little high. He had to reach up and grab it. He hangs on to it, though, and he breaks it back, cutting across field. He's got some room to run. Oh, now nice solo tackle by Stevie Johnson there in the open field that might have prevented a touchdown. Mateo Malback had to reach up and get the errant snap. He started left, cut it back to the right, was running wide, and had some green space until Stevie Johnson closed quickly.
Yeah, interesting play call.
I don't know if Malback is in there at quarterback to let Jacob Adams catch his breath, or perhaps it's by design. And Coach Charnock said, "Hey, you're going to play some quarterback."
Jake's got a little bit of he looked like he had a limp a little bit early. He's got a little bit of odd gait to him right now.
Adams back in at quarterback again. Stands tall, receives the chest-high snap, rolls a little bit to his left, wants to throw. Looking in the end zone for a receiver, batted away there right at the goal line, or maybe the 2 or 3 yard line. Good defense by the Cavaliers secondary. Adams hung it up there high. That allowed Chatham to close quickly and bat it away.
Josh McClure, the intended target there. Ball, like you said, just hung a little bit too long. Nice recovery by Chatham. Josh was open for a little bit.
Yeah. It's going to set up what we'll call 3rd and 14. Ball resting on the 20-yard line. Colonels need to get it to about the 4. And they are in Chatham territory, so obviously we're just 20 yards away from the end zone. Adams is ready for the snap. He's got Montague right behind him. Boy, lost the football. It ended up in Montague's hands. Johnny's going to run it right up the middle. Now spun around. The football's out again. Montague lost the football at the 10-yard line. I think Chatham has it. The Cavaliers have picked up another fumble in almost the same spot as they grabbed the previous fumble. This time they're down right where they grab it. But gosh, Oscar, it's deja vu all over again for Altavista.
Yeah, the things we like about Johnny is he's so tough. He continues. He won't go down. He makes the contact. He doesn't shy away from contact. That's twice it's 3 times tonight he's actually jumped players. 2 of them have not turned out well.
Wow, yeah, I don't know what the play was designed to be. The ball basically hit Jacob Adams' hands, bounced into Jonathan Montague's hands, and he ran it right up the middle, and he had a decent gain, but then lost the football. And maybe it was a designed run, pardon me, to Johnny anyway.
I think that was the call.
Trey Preston in at quarterback for the Cavaliers offense. Boy, they haven't operated in a while, Oscar. It's been mainly Altavista football this quarter. Chatham scored, but they didn't need their offense to do it on the fumble return. Whistles come out before the play can get started. Let's sort some things out. Delay of game on Chatham. They did take a while to get the personnel out there. Let's reset things a little bit, shall we? 5:01 left to play in the Select Air second quarter. 14-7 is your score. Colonel's on top. They opened up with 2 first-quarter touchdowns, a passing touchdown and a rushing touchdown. Since then, it's been a little weird. Colonels have moved the ball, but they've fumbled the football away twice. Chatham going to snap this one in the shadow of their own goalpost, their own 5-yard line. Preston has the offense set and ready to go. Wishbone formation again, same formation. Fullback dive right up the gut. They give it to Grekus, who runs right behind center Josh Adams. Not a whole lot there, just a big pile of bodies.
Yeah, that's been their bread and butter play.
It's not a terrible play. He does pick up 3, so we'll call it 2nd and 12 now. Colonel's defense is actually in a pretty good spot right here, Oscar, as Chatham will snap this ball from the 8-yard line, their own 8-yard line. Colonel's lead 14-7. 3-3 stack defense from Altavista. Traquan Farmer, the outside linebacker, looks like he's up a tad, showing blitz maybe. Wishbone formation. Preston wants to pass. Quick slant play is caught right at the 15-yard line. Falls forward. Tackle made by Nelson Dews. That was Quali Witcher, on the grab. Close to the first down marker. We'll see if he has enough.
Well, to quote Brent Musburger, it's either going to be a first down or it's not.
Yes, I heard that. That was pretty funny. I didn't hear it when it happened, but I heard people talk about it, and it is enough for a first down. Ball moves up to the 21-yard line. Again, the chain gang here from Chatham, they take a while to move. They wait for the referee to tell them, hey, it's up here now. But that's okay. Better safe than sorry. Fullback dive. They fake the option afterwards. Grekus doesn't have a whole lot, but he does gain some yardage. We'll call it a 3.5 or 4-yard gain. Good surge up front, and like we mentioned, when you've got a big man like Josh Adams to run behind, the 300-pounder, why not use that to your advantage?
I think from a morale perspective, Colonels need to stop here.
Sure. The momentum, I would argue, is clearly in Chatham's favor right now. Chatham fans not really making a lot of noise just yet, but we'll see. Blitz coming right there, and the Colonels almost got it in the backfield, but they can't. It's a handoff play to Starling. Starling just pinballing off of guys. Ran out of several tacklers. Ends up making it a pretty good gain, and I think he's got a first down. He's to the 31-yard line. By my vantage point, that's going to be enough to move the chains. Colonel sold out for the blitz, Oscar, and almost got there, but just couldn't quite get there in time.
Just half a step. And at the end of that play, Quinn Motley took exception to Dante's play and got up in his face, and wouldn't want to do that.
No, we've already mentioned Dante Poindexter, not exactly the guy whose bad side you want to find yourself on. 3:04 left to play in the clock, or in the half, pardon me. Clock continues to turn is what I was thinking. Now it's down to 2:58. Quarterback keeper this time. Might have been a busted play. Preston ran into his fullback. Might have picked up a yard, though. And there's some good sportsmanship as the Colonels helped Preston up off the ground. That was Josh McClure doing the honors there.
Matt Aiken at the bottom of that pile. Been very active tonight.
Aiken has been active. We've called his name a few times. We probably haven't called his name enough. He's making a lot of those disruption plays, Oscar, where he doesn't make the tackle, but he'll blow up the first blocker, and that allows somebody else to make the tackle. 2nd and 9 for the Cavaliers. 2:25 left to play in the first half. They're getting their offense set. Same wishbone formation. Fullback set up about 2 yards behind the quarterback. Now they put him in motion. Toss play to the left, near side for us. Ball carrier, I believe, was Victor Starling. Starling picked up 3.5 or 4 yards there on the carry. Good outside leverage there by Walker Allen to turn him back inside. He allowed Matt Aiken and Traquan Farmer to get in there and make a play. Timeout on the field. I think the Colonels took it. 1:55 left to play here in the first half. 14-7 Altavista. Right back after this on 105.5 KD Country.
Prompt, confidential, professional. A-Town Bail Bonds. 434-401-0253. Local, reliable, available 24/7. A-Town Bail Bonds. 434-401-0253. When a friend or family member is arrested and jailed, call a professional. Call Chip Rourke and A-Town Bail Bonds. 434-401-0253. Get answers. Get help. A-Town Bail Bonds. 434-401-0253.
Now back to the action with Colonel Sports on 105.5 KD Country.
14-7. Colonels on top, but we seem to think the Chatham Cavaliers have the momentum in their favor. I wonder if Chatham knows that. You don't see the best body language out of the Cavaliers right now. Not that you really see it out of the Colonels. It's not. I'm not going to say it's turning into a pillow fight out there. Guys are still playing hard, but it's a weird feeling, isn't it?
This is a big third down, I think, for Altavista.
And perhaps that's why Coach Mike Revis called the timeout. Wishbone formation again. Preston under center. He wants to pass. Got a good pocket to start with. Pass complete. Out on the edge there to Victor Starling. Starling is short of the first down marker. A flag comes out. This might be holding on the Chatham O-line. We'll wait and see.
Josh McClure was in pursuit. Looked like he got held.
Colonels didn't bring a big rush, and Chatham's defense initially did a nice job protecting and making a pocket for Preston to throw from. They are discussing with Altavista, so this penalty is on Chatham. They're seeing if they want to take the penalty. Would probably make it, I don't know, maybe 3rd and 12, 3rd and 13, Oscar, depending on where the infraction happened. It has been declined, so it'll bring up 4th down, probably 4th and 2 or 3 for Chatham. Punt team looks like they're coming out.
That's a weird spot.
It is a weird spot. They didn't move the stick, but that pass was complete, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Starling caught that ball, I thought, for sure.
It was at least 3 yards downfield from where they're spotting the ball now.
Either way, punt formation out on the field. Bailey Walton will do the honors for Chatham. Ball back, deep to return, standing on his own 20 for the Altavista Colonels.
He's too deep. Just my opinion.
Walton's had some good kicks. Snap is chest high, gets it back. This is booming. It won't land on the 20. It'll land on the 26. Takes a Chatham roll to the 16-yard line. Good kick to flip the field there by...
And the time
The time did not run. You're right. The clock stayed on 1:48. It should have run. Altavista's going to take over. If you're an Altavista fan, maybe that's a good thing, right?
Absolutely.
It gives your offense more time to operate and possibly score. 14-7. Colonels on top. Some strange things occurring not only in the press box, but on the field tonight, Oscar. Adams got the offense set to go. Trips receivers to the left. This ball is going to get snapped from the middle of the field, 16-yard line. Quick bullet pass out to Walker Allen. It's complete. Pardon me, that's not Walker Allen. I believe that's Jake McClure out there on the grab. Pardon me again, that's Josh McClure, Jacob McClure, the older brother of Jake McClure. It's tough when you've got a Jacob Adams and a Josh McClure who had a brother named Jacob. We'll call it 2nd and 3 now for the Colonels. Whistle's going to blow. Referees have stopped play. 1:27 on the clock now. They're discussing no timeout on the field, but the officials are getting together for a zebra conference. I think maybe they might want to adjust the play clock a little bit. Game clock, pardon me. Speaking of play clocks, that's one thing when the Colonels go on the road. They're used to having that play clock at home. Not that it's really burned them at all today, Oscar, but official conferring now with head coach Paul Grekus. And we mentioned the long halftime. They're going to put 1:38 on the clock, so they'll add 11 seconds. And again, if you're a Colonel fan, probably not disappointed with that because it gives the offense more time to operate. 1:38 left to play in the Select Air second quarter. Colonel's set to go here on 2nd and 3. Their offense is waiting. There's the signal from the referee. Adams going to bark out the snap count. Right leg out in front, extended, wants to pass on 2nd down. Got to avoid the first rusher. Did so very well. Can't avoid the 2nd and 3rd men, though. Dropped in the backfield. Called a 6-yard loss. It was the big man, Josh Adams, there that planted him to the deck.
That's almost back at the original line of scrimmage. We're going to call it 3rd and 9, 1:20, 1:19 remaining here in the second quarter.
From the far hash mark, that's the left hash mark. Wouldn't be surprised to see maybe a rollout to the right here for Jacob Adams, so he has the option to run or throw. We'll see. Fakes the handoff. He's going to keep it himself. Running left side. He's had some success over there. He's got more. First down yardage across the 30. Slung out of bounds around the 32 or 33-yard line. This clock will stop with 59 seconds left on the Jacob Adams quarterback keeper.
And keep in mind, you've got a potent kicker. You really get inside the 30-yard line, and you're almost in Walker Allen field goal range.
Sure. You wouldn't feel bad about giving Walker Allen a chance from even 50 yards. Paul Grekus walking out on the field.
If you can get this to a 2-possession game, that would be huge.
He's walking out on the field because there's an injured Cavalier over there on the Colonel sideline. That's the far sideline. We'll wait and see, and we may take a quick timeout here, folks, during the injury timeout, and I think we will. 14-7, Colonels on top, 59 seconds left in the half. Injury timeout. Come on back and join us after this quick break on 105.5 KD Country.
Apple Auto Glass is your windshield repair and replacement center in Lynchburg. You get a free car wash with all windshields replaced in the shop. Apple Auto Glass wants the fans to enjoy the boys of fall this high school football season.
When I feel that chill, smell that fresh cut grass, I'm back in my helmet, cleats, and shoulder pad. Kings of the school, man, where the boys of fall.
Apple Auto Glass salutes the boys of fall.
Your home for Colonel sports coverage. 105.5 KD Country.
So much fun anytime you come down to Chatham. It's been fun tonight, certainly. As I mentioned multiple times, Mr. Briggs, it's been a little weird at points in times, both on the field and off the field. Injury timeout is cleared up. It's Aaron Martin who comes off under his own power.
And
We're
we
happy
get-
to see that.
And we get an extended.
How many times have we brought that up tonight? Not enough, though. Trips wide receivers to the right. That's the wide side of the field for the Altavista Colonels. They've got just under 1 minute to operate here in the half and hopefully put some more points on the board. Adams, chest-high snap. He will roll to his right, and he wants to throw. Out route caught by Mateo Mall back at the 40. Lowers his shoulder and his head at the 44. He's thrown back. He lost forward momentum a full 4 yards past that. And I don't think Mateo Malbeck is particularly pleased about the delay in the whistle being blown, although Mateo's tough. He doesn't mind being hit.
No, but Mateo's got to get out of bounds on that play as well. He had the opportunity.
48 seconds, and that clock will start again when they spot the football. They have it spotted, but you got to wait for the signal. Far hash mark now.
Moving the chains.
Yeah, they are moving the chains. It was a nice out route completed there. Good throw by Jacob Adams. Trips receivers to the short side. That's the left. Adam wants to throw left. Complete over there on the far sideline. Nice grab at the 45, charging ahead to the 40. What a play there by Jacob Adams on the throw.
Is that Nelson Dews?
It was Nelson Dews, number 24 on the grab.
Nelson did a tremendous job getting out of bounds, too.
Great football right there from Nelson Dews on the grab, and Jacob Adams on a very nice throw, a long throw. He threw across to the wide side of the field. Cavaliers trying to hustle some new defensive personnel out there. Rolling clock at 38.7 seconds. Shotgun snap again. Adams pump fake, throws back, going down far sideline, looking for Nelly again. Caught around the 5-yard line. Did he stay in? Yes, he did. That's a grab by Nelson Dews. The old pump and go there. And another strike from Jacob Adams. Nelson Dews climbing the ladder, go upstairs and catch it, and falls down around the 4-yard line.
Boy, Nelson's had a heck of a first half. Running back, he said, rip some big plays, 2 big receptions here. 31.2 seconds remaining. Colonels are at the, hard to tell, 5-yard line?
We'll call it the 4.5. How about that? Split the difference. Jacob Adams has the offense ready to operate again. 31 seconds left in the half. And this 2-minute offense is operating like a well-oiled machine for the Colonels.
Hold on to the football.
Montague back in there at running back, set up right behind Adams. They give it to him right up the middle. Montague charging for pay dirt. I don't think he got there, diving forward.
Colonels have got to have a sense of urgency now.
Yep, they are lining up quick. Adams is jumping up and down, trying to get everybody lined up. They're going to spike the football, I think. Adams under center, ready for the snap, still waiting on the snap. Now gets it, now spikes it away with 13.8 seconds left. So it took a while. It felt like it took a long time, but the Colonel's still with 13 seconds to operate. Do you feel good about throwing the ball here on a fade route, Oscar, and an incomplete? You've still got time? Is that the play you like here?
Boy, I don't think you're going to have time if you run the ball to get back in formation. And if you don't get the touchdown, it's 3rd down now. It'll be 4th down. I think you have to throw the ball.
Out of timeouts, the clock will run out. They do not get a chance to get up and set, so call that a big defensive stand by the Cavaliers defense. We've reached that aforementioned halftime. Subway halftime show on the way. 14-7, Colonels on top after a good first half of football on 105.5 KD Country.
Bank with the local team. Bank of the James on Main Street in Altavista. Stop by our office today to talk with Bobby Walker and his team of local bankers to learn about local banking with Bank of the James. We offer a full line of personal and business banking products and services, including online banking and bill pay, personal and commercial loans and lines of credit, and mortgage loans. Bank with the local team. Bank of the James. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Unfortunately, I have some bad news.
How bad is it, Doctor?
We've done all we can. Your heat pump's not gonna make it.
Oh, no.
Honey, it's going to be okay. We'll call Select Air Mechanical and Electrical, 332-2600. With over 60 years experience, they'll have us comfortable again in no time.
I recommend Select Air to all my patients. Call 332-2600 or visit selectairmechanical.com. They can handle all your home comfort needs, and they're an authorized trained dealer. It's hard to stop a train.
This broadcast is brought to you by the members of the Katy Country Sports Club.
Chef's Drive-In, where the shake machine is shaken and dozens of flavors to choose from.
One Stop Mart, where the gas is cheap, the beverages are cold, and the chicken is kicking.
El Cerrito Altavista. Throw on a sombrero, shake your maracas, it's El Cerrito time.
Altavista Medical and Oncology Massage Therapy. Broad Street can help relieve your pain.
Vista Foods, Altavista, your hometown grocery with the freshest produce and best meats.
McDonald's in Altavista, committed to the community and bringing the world's favorite food.
Steve Farmer Auto Sales, Main Street, Altavista, best deals on wheels.
Colonel's Football is brought to you by the Sports Club on KD Country.
Your station for high school sports play-by-play is 105.5 KD Country.
The Subway halftime show has arrived here from Chatham High School. Colonel sporting a 14-7 lead. Odd way to end the half, Oscar. We'll talk about the entire first half in a second, but let's talk about the ending there. Colonels seem to have the 2-minute drive working to get down inside the 5. Take a sack. Jacob Adams was not able to throw it away, and they can't unpile quickly enough to spike the ball again. They spiked the ball the play prior to that, and it worked well at 13.8 seconds when the play started, but no timeouts, and it's just hard to unpile there with 4 or 5 seconds left.
Well, really, when you think about what you've seen in college football and pro football this year, no ill will intended to Jake, but his clock management skills look like they've deteriorated, and it's not the fine art that it once was. Jake's got to understand that under that condition, he has got to throw the ball away. Certainly, you're at the 3-yard line. Walker Allen can easily kick that through.
Right. It was third down was the situation. So you're right. If you throw it away, you figure you've got a solid 4 or 5 seconds, maybe even more, to try that Walker Allen field goal try, or even to try another play to get it in the end zone. You don't necessarily have to kick the football. But you're right. Ideally, you want to throw that ball away. Jake's a young guy. He's a sophomore. He's a great kid, smart. That's a tough play. And like you said, football as a whole, guys aren't very good at that. It's I don't know if it's an art or a science, or maybe the answer to that lies somewhere in between. But we'll come back. We'll take a timeout here. We'll come back. We'll talk about the extended halftime show. The Shriners are here. It's a pink-out game. They're doing some special things here during the Subway halftime show. We'll tell you more about it when we come back. 14-7, Colonels on top on 105.5 KD Country.
Installing atrium vinyl replacement windows is like an investment in your home that can begin to pay dividends right away. You can save up to 30% or more on your home's heating and cooling costs. Add to your home's equity and add to its value by upgrading its looks and energy efficiency. Custom crafted atrium vinyl replacement windows. Invest in your home's future with English's.
English's is your complete home center.
Business 29, Altavista.
The Altavista Office of Economic Development invites Altavista area residents to participate in selecting a new marketing slogan for the town and developing a new marketing campaign. You can choose from one of 4 choices. For more information, stop by the Office of Economic Development at Town Hall. Deadline to vote on your favorite Altavista slogan is next Friday, October 16th.
Finch and Finch Funeral and Cremation Service. A family serving families since 1905. Personal, memorable memorial moments, celebrating life and more. Pre-arrangements with confidence, trust and care from our family to yours. Finch and Finch Funeral and Cremation Service. A family serving families since 1905.
Hello, this is Jerry Miley from 1433 Altavista Moose Center. It's asking everybody to come on down and join us and see what the Moose is all about to help us support our Moose Heart, Moose Haven family. Anybody's welcome to come down and take a tour of our building and see what's going on. Come on down and we'll let you in and we can have some fun. We're looking forward.
Meet Jerry and the rest of the Altavista Moose family and become a member. The Altavista Moose Family Center on Lynch Mill Road.
Here's more award-winning high school sports with Kyle and Oscar on 105.5 KD Country.
Subway halftime show has returned from Chatham High School. The Colonels on top over the Cavaliers 14-7, and one of the reasons for the extended halftime show, Oscar, this is the 61st annual Shrine football game hosted by the Danville Shrine Club. And if you don't know about the Shriners, they have the children's hospitals that are really so important in helping young people and their families out. There's no cost to the kids and family at all. And the Shriners have been putting this football game on. Now, it hasn't always been here at Chatham, but the Cavaliers have been selected to participate. And I think it's a partnership that Paul Grekus is very proud of. And I think the Shriners are very proud of it as well.
Obviously, they're proud of it. And certainly, Paul played in 3 Shrine games from 78 to 1980, and he's very proud that he was able to be part of that experience.
Yeah, if you don't know, I know we've mentioned it a few times on these games, but it's been years past. Head coach Paul Grekus was a very, very good player at GW Danville. He was a tackle, and you may have heard of the guy that used to line up beside him for a few years. He's the head coach at Dan River, Mr. Farrell Edmonds. Yes, Coach Grekus and Coach Edmonds played together in high school and then went on to play in college. Coach Grekus played at Washington and Lee, and Coach Edmonds, as many of you probably know, played at Maryland and then later the NFL, catching passes from the likes of none other than Dan Marino. So there is a connection, and football has always been strong in this Danville area. So there's 2 products right there that have stuck around or come back, probably in Coach Edmonds' case, and really wanted to give back to their communities and coach football.
I've actually got a George Washington connection now. Kid that grew up across the street from me. He's a little bit older than I am. I call him a kid, but grew up across the street from me. Played football at Graham High School and went on to play at Carolina. He is now retired out of the North Carolina school system, but he's coaching at GW now.
Nice.
Boyd Pearson.
Well, big shout out to you. Well, probably not listening. Probably got a football game tonight. But, hey, speaking of shout outs, I've got a list. I know we've got some people listening. So let's say hello to some folks. I know Destin Brown, of course, has been listening pretty regularly, and some other former Colonels. Obviously, Colonels around the world can listen at kdcountry.com and with the TuneIn app. And all you alumni and former players, if your buddies don't know, pass that along, because some people don't know. Sometimes it flies under the radar, but we appreciate you listening wherever you are. I know Donnie Bryant is a big fan. He might not have made it to the game tonight. My buddy from Chatham, actually, Greg Doss, told me he was listening on the road, I think. He's headed back down home tonight for a visit. And let's say hello to some friends in Altavista, shall we? Mr. Charles Boley, I think, tunes in. And, of course, former broadcaster. He's been in our shoes. He's been here at Chatham to do some games. So hello to Charles. Hello to Rob and Trey Finch. Dandy Dan Kaufman, a big Colonel football fan. You know Dan Kaufman. He can't play golf out there at night, so he likes to listen to the Colonels at night. Also, your buddy Jerry Barnard, saw him the other day. And our good friend Benny Nash, Oscar, this is a good story, stopped me in Wendy's the other day and said, I really appreciate all the hard work you guys do. You guys sound great. I'm a big fan. Benny loves the country music as well as the sports. And tried to give me $20, Oscar. Said I had to split it with you for dinner. He said, you and Oscar, get you something good to eat when you go down there to Chatham. And I told him, well, I can't accept this.
And Benny, just to let you know, I haven't seen a dime.
Oh, man, I knew that was going to come out. I told Benny I was going to give it to my favorite charity. He said as long as that charity included food or a restaurant, fine. Hey, Benny Nash, we love you. We love all our fans. Hey, hit us up on Facebook. Contact the station. We'll talk about you on the radio. It'll always be good. Trust me. Subway halftime show rolls on. We'll recap that first half again. Colonels have a 1-touchdown lead over Chatham. 14-7. You're hearing it all live on 105.5 KD Country.
Hey, guys, this is Terrell Salmon at Best Bet Motor Sales. Stop wasting time running all over town to these car lots that advertise easy finance and easy credit. Come on by and see us here at Best Bet Motor Sales. We have guaranteed credit approval, low down payments, warranty on all vehicles, and vehicles more than affordable starting at only $59.95. You can check out our inventory at bestbetmotorsales.com. You can check out our weekly specials on Facebook. Or better yet, come on by and see us. Best Bet Motor Sales on 29 South.
I'm Jeff Walker of First National Bank and the manager at our Main Street branch in Altavista. Did you know that local bankers have a lot more at stake in taking better care of you? You see, helping local customers like you be more successful is our only focus, and each customer is so important. So for your small business, construction, and personal loan needs, think of me and think of us first. That's local First National Bank. We'll help you bring home more bacon. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Stay cool in the summer and warm in the winter. Tyree Little's Heating and Cooling on the ready to keep you comfortable year-round. Locally owned and operated, just a call away with over 20 years experience. Licensed and bonded. Tyree Little's Heating and Cooling, specializing in heating, air, plumbing, and electrical. Any season, anytime. Tyree Little's Heating and Cooling, keeping you cool in the summer and warm in the winter. Give them a call today. Tyree Little's Heating and Cooling, Gretna.
Zaxby's, Wards Ferry Road, Lynchburg.
Man, that house salad looks good.
Dude, it's so good.
How about one bite for the road?
No.
Sharing is caring.
No. You can't have any of my salad, bro.
Wait, I got it right here. I got $20 in a dream, yeah.
Well, that's a hit right there, dude.
Thank you.
Thanks, dude.
The house salad. Grilled chicken atop mixed greens, cucumbers, Roma tomatoes, cheddar and jack cheeses, and fried onions. Served with Texas toast. Zaxby's, indescribably good.
More live high school sports action on 105.5 KD Country.
Subway halftime show returns from Chatham High School. Remember, the Reuben has returned at Subway, but it's for a limited time only. You can get the turkey or the corned beef. Great with the sauerkraut and the Thousand Island dressing, some Swiss cheese on there, maybe a little bit of lettuce. Make it your way. It's Subway. 3 great locations around Altavista. Of course, Main Street, also in the Walmart on the Clarion Road, and a little further up the road on Route 29 inside the Foster Fuels. Always smiling faces at Subway. It was Kendra and Alyssa and one more person. I'm going to think of the name. I'm going to get our sound engineer, Eleanor Haney, to help me think of the name, and we'll get to the bottom of it. One more shout out, Mr. Briggs, former baseball coach here at here at Chatham High School. Chad Anderson is listening. I get tongue-tied sometimes when I get excited thinking about this football season and baseball season. And this first half, let's talk about the first half, Oscar. Maybe it's a case of good, bad, and ugly. Colonels had plenty of nice, good moments, had a few bad moments as well. And Chatham was able to take advantage, particularly on the 87-yard fumble recovery return for a touchdown by Quali Witcher. That's how the Cavaliers got their 7. Colonels scored on a passing play. It was Adams to Malback, and also on a running play from Nelson Dews. But maybe it was the missed opportunities for Altavista that stand out for you, Oscar. Got it inside the 5-yard line 3 times and walked away with nothing on those 3 attempts.
That's right, and certainly the most painful, I think, was the last one. As time ran out and Jake found himself on the ground and unable to get a 4th down opportunity to kick a field goal or even go for the score, so the touchdown.
Yeah, Colonels fumbled away some opportunities the other times they were in there. Of course, one being the 87-yarder return for a touchdown. Maybe that wasn't quite inside the 5, but it was inside the red zone for sure. And the Colonels, interestingly enough, their 2 touchdowns have come from outside the red zone, outside the 25, or some people say 20-yard line for the red zone. But either way, Colonel's touchdowns came from afar. I believe it's 30 yards from Nelson Dews. And the passing play was 39.
Yeah.
Sure. Yep. So there you go.
And
And obviously there's nothing wrong with that, but you want to cash in on your opportunities when you get in close.
Well, and it certainly appeared that as the Colonels were able to stay, the new terminology that they're using in the NFL, to stay ahead of schedule and get that 2nd and 3 and 2nd and 2. When the Colonels were doing that, the offensive line really dominated and pushes Chatham. They were Altavista was ripping off 20-yard run, 10-yard run, 20-yard run, and just couldn't get it in the end zone. Fumbles, those 2 fumbles, and then the blown last great 2-minute drive.
Yeah.
Got the ball at the 16-yard line with a minute 48 left, minute 38, depending on which clock operator was in. It was, great drive. Got the ball down to the red, inside the 5 with 38 seconds left. So, Nelson Dews made a couple of great catches.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Nelson Dews, what a half he had. He ran the ball really well. He hits the hole so hard. He's got breakaway speed. More of a one-cut kind of a guy, not a ton of moves, although he does have some moves in there, and he likes to use the stiff arm too. But he's got the touchdown. He's got a couple of fantastic catches and made some plays on defense too. Nelson Dews is having a good half. Hey, what about Jacob Adams? I mean, I know you had to play there at the end, but he had a good first half running the ball, maybe the best half of running we've seen from Jacob Adams.
He had a heck of a half throwing the ball. The Colonels offensively have executed well. We talked about it time and time again. The turnovers are going to kill them.
The turnovers have bitten them all year this year, particularly in the 2 losses, and then they are here. But, again, it's a young ball club. We'll take one more time out here on the Subway halftime show. Colonels are out on the field ready to do some of their halftime stretching. We'll bring it back. We'll talk about some possible adjustments and what to look forward to in the second half. Altavista 14, Chatham 7. You're hearing it all live on 105.5 KD Country.
The Village Barbershop, an old-school 1960s-style barbershop, offering classic and current cutting techniques for gentlemen and boys. No appointment necessary. Responsible pricing in a clean family environment. Village Barbershop, open Tuesday through Friday, 8 to 6, Saturdays till noon. Stop by and see Danny Barber at Village Barbershop, serving Altavista and surrounding areas from 619 Broad Street. Give them a try.
Brother needs a pickup, sister wants a ride. Uncle needs a sports car to keep him satisfied. Mama, she wants comfort, luxury and style. And Daddy, he just wants a deal that's gonna make him smile. Everybody's happy, you can hear them all say, we're glad we went to Feller's Chevrolet. Competition for all dealers in Central VA. A short drive will save you money. Feller's Chevrolet in Altavista.
TCM Industrial Services recognizes the importance of high school athletics by sponsoring this award-winning broadcast. TCM Industrial Maintenance and Construction Specialist providing welding, millwright, erection, and fabrication services to all forms of industry throughout the Mid-Atlantic region from offices in Altavista. TCM Industrial Services wishes Coach Chartis and the Altavista football team a safe and successful season. Go Colonels!
What do basketball, choir, drama club, and marching band all have in common? They're all high school activities that offer learning opportunities not necessarily found in the classroom. They take up just a fraction of a typical Virginia high school's budget, and they go a long way to giving young people the tools they need to thrive. High school activities, they're more than extracurricular. They're extra important, too.
Brought to you by English Construction Company with offices in Lynchburg.
Back to the press box for high school sports on 105.5 KD Country.
Final segment of the Subway halftime show as we are about to get underway here in the second half. Hey, a little bit of a weather update, folks. If you're driving around central Virginia, there is a strong line of storms approaching from the northwest. Don't know how it's going to impact each individual area, but it's worth getting on the internet or finding a weather forecast somewhere just to kind of be safe. It looks like it's going to hit the Lynchburg area around, 8:30 or 8:45-ish or so, Oscar. I mean, obviously that's not an exact science to when it's going to start raining and the wind's going to blow. But like I said, it is moving from the northwest. It does look to be pretty strong. I don't know if it's batting down the hatches time, but it does look like there's some wind and possibly some thunder and lightning associated with it.
There certainly is some lightning in it, and it's scheduled somewhere with where we are estimated in that 9 o'clock time frame.
Yeah.
It looks like it might be coming this way. And, in the old days, they wouldn't stop a football game, but now Lightning, they'll pull the trigger pretty quick on that.
Yeah, Lightning's pretty serious business. I mean, you can play through some rain and even a driving rain. We've seen plenty of that. Lightning's pretty serious stuff, though, and you're right. These athletic directors have to make a judgment call and have to make some decisions sometimes with not a lot of time to think about it and not a ton of information to go on. So they do the best they can. And, we know Mr. Dean Hubbard at Altavista has always done a great job with that. The new athletic director here at Chatham is Miss Jessica Dalton in her first year, taking over for Nathan Lumpkins. I'm sorry, Oscar. Go ahead.
No, and we have been remiss in not mentioning the Altavista golf team.
Yes, we usually do that this time. Go ahead.
They finished second in regionals, finished second to Rappahannock High School, who was playing on their own course, only by 10 strokes. That's pretty impressive with a team playing on their home course. So they do advance to the state tournament as a team, which is always nice to do. Golf considered an individual sport, but certainly in this situation, it's a team sport.
The team matters to those guys too. You know, they've had, like we mentioned last week, it's been sort of a rotating cast of guys that have stepped up and played well for them.
Scooter Duff, talk to Robert. That's his son. Robert's so kind to us with Subway, but Scooter shot in 81, hit 15 of 18 greens.
Wow.
45 putts. So the greens were lightning quick.
Well, Scooter's going to get the flat stick going, I know, and he's going to putt well in the state tournament. All those guys are going to putt well and play well. And hopefully they enjoy themselves up there, too. Scooter Duff and Ethan Maddox and Matt Dowdy and Forrest Taylor. Yeah, one or two Gillespie brothers.
Yeah, Gillespie brothers,
yep.
That's right.
So it's a good ball club.
A
Cogsdale, that's right. Best of luck to the Colonel golf team. Not that they need it. That was their goal all year, to get back to the state tournament, and they've done that.
Lewis Bryant does a great job with them.
Yes, he does. Coach Bryant, take our hat off to that guy. He's a good guy. And the Lady Colonel volleyball team, just one game last week, but they're about to get into the home stretch of the regular season, and they're playing well again, too. Here comes a kickoff from Bailey Walton. Second half is underway here from Chatham High School. High booming kick. Malbeck fields on the 5-yard line, left hash mark. Now he breaks it outside of the numbers, and he's got some room along the sideline now. Malbeck still on his feet across the 35 to the 40. Good blocking downfield from the convoy of Colonel blockers up front. It was Maxey on the tackle.
I don't know if I've seen a game where there have been that many tackles downfield, 5-10 yards in front of the ball. Blocks.
Sure,
that the Colonel players have really just sent Chatham guys sprawling.
Yeah, guys blocking through the whistle, or at least to the whistle. You know, not waiting, not looking back to see, where's the ball carrier? Just saying, hey, I'm just going to block this guy downfield, and hopefully the ball carrier breaks loose. Pair of receivers to each side for the Altavista Colonels on this first possession of the second half. Far hash mark from the 42. Adams going to keep it behind a pulling lineman. Met some resistance right there at the 45. Now he's swallowed up. Possibly a yard or two after forward progress there by Jacob Adams on the quarterback keeper. 11:35 left to play in the Select Air third quarter. It's a 14-7 Colonel lead, opening drive of the second half.
Chatham defender came out of that scrum with the ball, but forward progress had already been blown dead.
Again, maybe a little disconcerting, though, for an Altavista fan, because he lost possession of the ball. It was after the whistle, but he did lose possession. Blitz being shown here by the Chatham Cavaliers. They've only got one linebacker deep. It's about 7 guys stacked up on the line. Quick hitting pass. They flip it out to Chancellor Mormon. Mormon's got some room. Now a hip-high tackle will bring him down on the far sideline. Mormon's across the 45 to about the 43 in Chatham territory. Colonels move the chains, flip the field, get it over into the attacking zone, and Adams is winding his arm up. He wants his team to get set and go. Now he'll slow things down and look over at the sideline for the play call. I think he was thinking about maybe catching Chatham off guard there. That's definitely an NFL-like move, and Aaron Rodgers or Tom Brady would line up there quick and get. Now Adams barking at the offensive line. He wants them to get down and ready. Boy, Adams is itching to go. He'll put Malbeck in motion deep behind. They're going to run the option to the right. Pitches it out to Mateo Malbeck. Malbeck lost it. He still doesn't have it back. Now he falls on it around the 45, pardon me. Mateo Malbeck tried to pick it up and run, and he missed it on the first grab. Then he had to dive after it and just fall on it, and it's a good thing he did.
And I don't know, was he lining up to throw that ball?
I don't know. The pitch looked pretty good. You're right. Maybe Malbeck had intentions of a trick play, kind of a flea flicker after the pitch. Hard to tell after the fact. 2 receivers to each side. Colonels are resting on the 45 of Chatham. Another quick-hitting pass to Chancellor Mormon. Mormon dodges the first tackler, dodges a second. He is down the far sideline and off to the races. Chancellor Mormon with a 55-yard touchdown grab. It was the same play they ran a couple plays ago. Adams just throws a quick-hitting bullet to Chancellor Mormon. Mormon dodged the quarterback, and then it was a foot race to the edge, which Mormon won emphatically with the long touchdown.
Boy, and Chancellor Mormon all this year has been out on the edge, blocking. It is great to see him get the opportunity to get into the end zone.
Couldn't agree more. Mormon is a hard-working, blue-collar guy. He does the yeoman work out there blocking for the other guys. Now he finally gets the chance to catch a couple balls, and he takes it to the house. Man, Mormon has got some legit speed too, folks. Walker Allen on to try the extra point. Boy, it wasn't looking good for the Colonels for a while. Starting to look better. This kick might have got blocked. Scrimmage, it's no good. That'll keep the score at 20-7, but a big touchdown from Chancellor Mormon on the reception. 10-13 left to play in the third quarter on 105 KD Country.
Some people have never tried food at a Mexican restaurant, so we asked Chad Shelton from Shelton's Plumbing and Heating about his experience.
I wasn't so sure what the green stuff was, but they slipped some on my plate one day, and now I won't have a meal without guacamole. Still can't spell it.
At El Cazador Mexican Restaurant, if you have questions, they give you the answers in English. Mexican and American foods, affordable prices, and fast service. Try it today.
Your high school coverage on 105.5 KD Country.
Jacob Adams to Chancellor Mormon. The pass and catch, 55 yards into the Colonels. Good play, a good bounce-back play. Vista had a fumble. They almost lost it. Again, it wasn't looking real great for the Colonels' offense, but one play can erase a lot of things and ease a lot of.
That's right, and that was huge that the Colonels. Now the momentum clearly swung back the other way.
Walker Allen's kick was blocked, so we'll see up being important at the end of this football game or not. We're keeping our eye on that line of storms. Our sound engineer, Eleanor Haney, says it's already started raining. Starling trying to Montague again. Go figure. Montague on nearly every play on the kickoffs.
He's had a solid game, less than 2 fumbles tonight.
Sure,
but he's defensively he's been big. Special teams he's been big.
Chatham Cavaliers' first drive of the second half will take place on their own 25-yard line. We'll start on their own 25-yard line rather. Gotten some first downs. They've used the fullback dive very effectively. They've fumbled the football away once themselves. They've had some opportunities. They haven't been able to really sustain very many drives like the Colonels have. Altavista showing blitz. They had everybody up front. They give it to the fullback. Grekus is just plowing through guys who had hands on him. One of those Colonels is Dante Poindexter, who helps George up off the ground there. So nice sportsmanship again. Greg has got 2 yards out. Something where, yeah, he probably should have lost at least 2 yards. So give Greg his credit for some hard. And certainly the Chatham offensive for continuing to push. Rolling clock, 9:37 left to play in the third quarter. It's a 20-7 Colonel lead. They put the fullback in motion to the left. Toss play going out to the left. Starling on the carry, in between the numbers and the hash marks, brought down closer to that left hash mark. Good carry there and a good pickup. We'll call it a 6-yard gain. He's close to the first down marker. Starling has seemingly gotten more carries out of those 2 twin tailbacks in the backfield, Oscar.
Certainly Greco's has had a majority of the carries.
Yeah.
But I think you're absolutely right.
Cavaliers are one of those teams that still huddle the traditional way. A lot of people operate from the no huddle. It's not necessarily a hurry-up offense, but it's a no-huddle offense. Officials are going to blow the play dead here and stop things. I think they want to give Chatham a first down on that previous play. Yeah, chains have moved, so.
First down, Cavaliers.
A bit of confusion there and a bit of hesitation, but it's probably the right call. I think just by looking at the football, yeah, Oscar kind of makes a gesture of a sort of like a putter would do with a plumb bob, maybe, checking out the break of the green. They'll hand it to the first man through. That's the fullback, George Grekus again. Pickup of 3 yards there on the fresh set of downs, swallowed up by basically the entire Altavista defense. 6 or 7 guys in on the stop anyway. 8:35 left to play in the Select Air third quarter. 20-7 is the Colonels' lead at the moment.
Colonels doing some substituting, Kyle.
I saw that, shuffling some people in there. Aaron Close was in the ball game, and he came out. I think they sent big Ken Brumfield into the nose tackle spot. Yep, Dante Poindexter swung out to the defensive end, trying to get to this toss play on the left side. Not going to get there. The Altavista secondary will have to make the play. And it was Traquan Farmer that made the stop, but not after another first down pickup from Victor Starling on the toss play.
That was a nice run. Starling did a little hesitation, let the play develop, let his blockers get in place, and was able to get the ball downfield. Nice run by Starling.
Chains move again for the Chatham Cavaliers. Maybe this is a chance for them to sustain a drive and keep something going, and for their sake, cap it off with some points. I'm sure the Chatham fans would love to see that. Same formation again, Wishbone, quarterback keeper this time. Preston tucks it in behind the fullback Grekus. That's a 5-yard gain on a quick-hitting quarterback keeper. It wasn't a quarterback sneak. He waited for the fullback to go through, and then he followed him in the hole with good success. 2nd and 5 coming up for Chatham.
Cavaliers, a nice little drive going here.
All these plays are hitting quick, Oscar, and they're running downhill. There's not a lot of activity in the backfield. It's those quick pitch plays, those quick handoffs. It's working well right now for Chatham. Colonel showing blitz again. Everybody stacked up on the line. Option right. Preston's going to keep it. Turns it up the alleyway. He's got a first down and a little bit more. Across the 40 to the 35. Road to the deck by Stephen Farmer, who had to get down and give chase. You don't like seeing a linebacker type of player like Stephen Farmer 15 yards down the field, but somebody had to make the stop, and Stephen Farmer did.
I'm going to tell you, Trey Preston's getting some yardage under his belt. Each play, he's running back to Coach Greco's to get the play.
There is a flag on the play. It came out kind of late. Chatham seems to know what's up, though, because they marched all the way back to the original line of scrimmage.
11 Colonels called illegal procedure when they played it. The flag never came out, but 11 players were pointing it out.
Well, like I said, I think the officials have done a great job tonight.
Absolutely.
Sometimes it's hard to get that flag out, especially when you're moving around, too. You're running around, you're reaching for it. Where is it? It's not there.
It's in another player's uniform.
Possibly. If you're we're not going to name Barry Wilson's name, but wait, we just did. Big shout out to Barry Wilson. I think he's probably got a game tonight, but he's a dear personal friend of Oscar's and therefore mine as well. Option play to the left this time. Preston fakes the pitch, keeps it himself. Good fake there, and he held on to it. Dante Poindexter was able to trip him up, but not after a 6 or 7 yard gain. Another good running play from the Chatham Cavaliers. 6:46 left to play in the third. 20-7 Altavista on top, but the Cavs with some momentum. Big third down coming here, Oscar.
It is a big third down. I think the Colonels need this stop. A little bit back on their heels right now.
Colonel's defense. They've got 2 linebackers up showing blitz. Now they back off. Option play to the left. Preston turned that one up, and he's going nowhere. It's the big cat, Dante Poindexter. Football came out late, fallen on there by the center, Josh Adams. You know, he might have been down, but the football came out and Chatham fell on it. They're going to lose some yards. They would have lost about 6 or 7. It ends up about 10 or 11 after the fumble, and it'll bring up 4th and 15. Big stop for Poindexter.
I think he had forward progress when Dante got a hold of him. I don't like the fumble call and taking that yardage away from Chatham. But anyway, Dante Poindexter met him, and really, you mentioned sumo wrestler earlier. He grabbed a hold of him.
Yeah.
He spun him around. He was in charge.
That was reminiscent of a sumo move there. Poindexter with a great open field tackle. Chatham looks like they're bringing new personnel in, and they're going to punt this football away. I wouldn't have blamed Coach Grekus either way if he went for it or he punted it. This is 4th and long. Mateo Malback, the return man, heels resting on about the 17-yard line. Flag on the play here before things really got started. Penalty is against the Chatham Cavaliers. It'll back them up 5 more yards. Now you definitely punt at 4th and 20.
Yeah, I think if they would have had the ball right at midfield around the 50-yard line with 4th and 8. Given that you're down 2 possessions, I wouldn't have blamed Greco's at all. I think that would have been a good call. With the fumble and losing the additional 7-8 yards, no choice, and then with the penalty, absolutely no choice.
Bailey Walton's done some effective punting so far here tonight. Snap is head high, catches, takes a step forward, booms it away, slight Altavista rush. This one lands on the 30. Wow. Malback nearly grabbed it on the 1 hop. Some pushing and shoving. Chatham fans not happy about something. Ball is downed around the 14-yard line, Oscar.
Yeah, we're a little bit disadvantaged on the angle. We don't know exactly what happened, but certainly some Chatham fans took exception to something that was going on the field.
That ball on the 1 hop took a line drive about hip high. Malback was very close. He probably could have reached out and grabbed it, but maybe another one of those cases where the rush is too strong to take a chance in mishandling that football right there. So the ball does rest on the near side hash mark. That's the right hash mark on around the 13-yard line. Altavista offense back out onto the field and ready to go. Looks like Aaron Close in there at center now. Maybe they're moving Ken Brumfield around. Dante Poindexter in the backfield as a blocking back. Adams gets the snaps, keep it himself. Off right tackle, and he's free. He's across the 20-yard line. Dives ahead around the 21-yard line.
Nice open field tackle by Jacob Porter.
Under 5 minutes to play now in this Select Air third quarter. Remember, they're online at selectairmechanical.com. That's selectairmechanical.com. They're your authorized Train dealer. 20-7, Altavista on top. Second time they've touched the football on offense in this second half. 2nd and 3 here as Adams looks over the defense. Steps into the snap, hands it off to Jonathan Montague. Montague wants to try the left side. Not a whole lot there. He's thrown forward on the tackle. Might have gained a yard and a half at most. They'll set up 3rd and short for the Altavista Colonels. Adams and Montague come together and discuss the nuances of that play afterwards.
Well, Jonathan looked very, rightfully so, looked very conservative with that carry. He looked afraid.
Well, Montague has run the ball really well all year. And it had a good first half with the exception, like we said, of the 2 fumbles. And some of those may not have been his fault. They give it to him again. He's got a big hole. He might be gone. Montague across the 40, tripped up at the 45 as the Chatham Cavaliers give chase. Jonathan Montague with a big carry for first down yardage and a whole lot more. So right on cue, we talk about how he's been doing a good job. They give it to him again. He comes through. Another big hole up front, Oscar.
Huge hole. And the thing is, it was so effective. They continue to, this Colonel's offensive line continued to block downfield 10, 15 yards as he ripped open that big hole.
Coleman Teagarden, is at center now. It wasn't Aaron Close. It was Coleman Teagarden, and he did a great job on blocking right there. Adams wants to throw on first down. Nearly got hit. Tries to throw across the middle looking for Nelson Dews on the dig route. It's incomplete. Nelly had to lay out, and there was good coverage there as well. Adams probably was wise to sort of miss low like that and not take a risk of an interception.
That was a good throw. It was either Nelson was going to catch it or nobody was. That was a low heater. You got to like that if you're Colonel's baseball fan.
Sure. That was a savvy play, too, just because of where the coverage was. And you're right. Adams is a very good baseball player, and that strong arm he has is a big reason why. Colonels will bring in McClure to set up shop at a tight end spot. 2 receivers to the left, 1 wide out to the right. Running play here. They give it to Montague again, charging into the hole there and runs up the back of his offensive lineman. There's Stephen Farmer blocking downfield again. Montague just ran into a wall of his own bodies and Chatham bodies and hits the deck after a 4-yard pickup. Let's call this 3rd and 6, right about midfield. Colonels are still in their own territory at the 47-yard line, but it's a big 3rd down play for the Altavista Colonels, Oscar.
Well, you're absolutely right. Again, do you throw the ball, Kyle, or do you continue to push with this offensive line?
I love the rollout to the right with the option to run or throw. Let's see what they do. No, it's just a design run. Adams is across the 50. He's across the first down marker, the 45, the 40, hit in the leg at the 30-yard line and pushed out of bounds. There's a big-time first down. Jacob Adams on the running play. Again, great blocking at the point of attack. and then out on the edge by Walker Allen.
Boy, one player had a chance to get to Jake and stop it before it became a first down, and Mateo Malbeck absolutely put a great block on him and stopped that. That was what really allowed Jake to get freed up and get the ball downfield.
Matriculation. I love it. Colonel's offense doing just that with a little bit of passing and a little bit of running. Boy, it's been a lot of different ball carriers as well tonight for the Colonels. Adams has run the ball great. Montague has run the ball great. Nelson Dews has run it great. Mateo Malbeck has carried the football a little bit too. Unbalanced formation to the left. Adams is going to run that way to the wide side of the field, trying to run out of the grasp of a defender and can't. He's thrown down. Man caught him from the backside. It looked like number 19, Ty Wingfield, maybe on the stop there. There was a couple Cavaliers in the area. 3.5-yard gain for Jacob Adams on first down. 2:02 left to play in the quarter, Oscar.
Jake's adjusted his equipment. He looks a little gassed as he gets a call from Coach Sharnas.
He's probably had the most workload as far as running the ball here tonight as he has all year. This is the 6th game of the season. They've used Jake to run the ball. He's got 11 rushing touchdowns on the year, so obviously he's carried the football, but a lot of times it comes from in close near the goal line. This is probably the most open field running he's had to do all season. Back there at the quarterback still, takes a neck-high snap and hands it off to Montague. Montague's got some room and then plows a defender over at the end of the play as he's run to the deck. That is seriously good running there from Jacob Montague. Josh Bradshaw on the tackle, along with some help from a few other defenders.
Well, that Colonel's offensive line,
oh, man,
Brumfield, they just continue with Stephen Farmer, Coleman Teagarden, just continue to push, and just open up big holes.
Yeah, and I mentioned that change. You know, normally Ken Brumfield is the center. Not to say he hasn't played the guard and the tackle spot some, but Coleman Teagarden, pardon me, has jumped in there and played center at least on this drive. So that's an adjustment. Give credit to offensive line coach Dave Close and also to Coach Sharnas. Injury on the field right now. We'll step aside for a quick injury timeout. It's 20-7. Altavista Colonels, just over a minute left to play in the third quarter. And Altavista has a third down coming up when you come back to 105.5 KD Country.
No one knows trucks like we know trucks. Come see us and you'll agree. From small to tall, we've got it all. Highview Motors, GMC. Come on in. Bring the family and see your friends at Highview Motors. Highview Motors, GMC. From small to tall, we've got it all. Highview Motors, GMC.
Now back to the action with Colonel Sports on 105.5 KD Country.
20-7. Colonels on top over the Chatham Cavaliers. It's going to be 3rd and 1 coming up for Altavista after the injury timeout. Man is still down on the turf being attended to right now, a Chatham Cavalier player. Don't see a number just yet, Oscar, but this is the time here in the area. Colonels are going to snap this from right at the 20-yard line. They need to get just past the 19-yard line. They're in Chatham field territory. This is the place where you got to be careful, I think, if you're Altavista, Oscar, because you're thinking, hey, we're going to score here. We're going to have some success. But what's happened those 3 occasions where the Colonels have gotten close and then come away empty-handed? 2 fumbles and then also the one where the clock ran out there right before halftime. So it's interesting. You do want to be aggressive, but you don't want to get crazy, I think, if you're Altavista.
I think you're absolutely right, and I think you're probably still in 2-down territory. Well within Walker Allen field goal range.
Right.
But 23-7, you're still within 2 possessions.
Yeah, Chatham, again, their offense hasn't been great, although they've shown flashes. They just haven't really sustained any long drive. They have picked up first downs. They've picked up quite a few first downs. They've hit the one long passing play that Trey Preston threw down the sideline to Hunter Furr. George Grekus is a weapon at fullback. Victor Starling has run the ball well at tailback. They're going to carry this one player off the field. To me, it looks like number 8, Quali Witcher. Witcher was the guy, of course, that returned the fumble for the touchdown. They gave Chatham their only points so far tonight. Looks like they're going to reset things and they're ready to go back out on the field now. Now the center, Oscar, believe it or not, looks like number 55, Ethan Young. maybe I misidentified and thought it was T-guard in there earlier, or maybe Altavista is just switching guys around at the center spot. Typically, center is a spot where you use the same guy all year, but it's not to say you can't mix it up. Montague has the first down, plowing his way forward. He's near the goal line now. That play looked like it was going to get stopped for about 4 or 5 yards. Montague got it inside the 10. They're going to spot it on the 5-yard line. Jonathan Montague had a good hole, and then he just kept driving through people.
He wrapped that ball up and continued to drive his legs. Nice job by Jonathan there.
First and goal for the Altavista Colonels.
And another huge hole by the Colonels' offensive line.
Absolutely. Great job up front at the point of attack, and then they work downfield too. Bunch formation to the left for the Colonels. This is an overload. They've got a wide out outside there. They're going to send Jonathan Montague. It's an empty backfield now for Altavista. Everybody to the left side. Adams is going to take the snap and go right up the gut for a touchdown. The Colonels with a little bit of a diversion play, Oscar. They sent everybody out there to the left. It looked like it was going to be student body left, and Adams ran right up the gut for a 5-yard touchdown.
Well, he joins the touchdown party now.
Adams with his 12th on the year. You're right, first one tonight. Excellent stuff there, and I love the creativity on the play call. They show a little bit of a goofy formation, an unbalanced formation to the left. Maybe you make Chatham think you're going to run that way, and you take it right up the belly of the defense. Allen on to try the extra point, 26-7. Snap is back to the block. Allen's kick is deep enough, and it is true. 27-7. Colonels on top by 20. We've got 34 seconds left in the third quarter here from Chatham on 105.5 KD Country.
Stay cool in the summer and warm in the winter. Tyree Little's Heating and Cooling on the ready to keep you comfortable year-round. Locally owned and operated, just a call away with over 20 years experience. Licensed and bonded. Tyree Little's Heating and Cooling, specializing in heating, air, plumbing, and electrical. Any season, anytime. Tyree Little's Heating and Cooling, keeping you cool in the summer and warm in the winter. Give them a call today. Tyree Little's Heating and Cooling, Gretna.
Your home for Colonel sports coverage. 105.5 KD Country.
Good drive from the Altavista Colonels to get some points. Jacob Adams on the 5-yard quarterback keeper. I said called his own number earlier. That's a funny saying in football, Oscar, because more often than not, the play is called from the sideline by the coach. Now, I know a lot of quarterbacks have the liberty to call the quarterback sneak, but that's a design play there that gets Adams in the house.
Yeah, that was clearly a design play as they set up that overload situation on the left, and you could see the Chatham whole defensive secondary linebacking core shifting over to that side, and a little delay right up the middle worked perfectly.
Speaking of delay, some area games are in a delay. Bob Alvis, our dear friend, just texted me and said that LCA is in a weather delay in the second quarter. Gretna and William Campbell are tied 28-28, but they are in a weather delay. I think the fourth quarter is about to get underway there. So we mentioned that line of storms being strong. Obviously, it's strong enough to have an impact. Maybe that means we got a few more listeners, people jumping in the cars to avoid the rain. Short kick by Walker Allen, fielded on the 25-yard line and stopped right there. Traquan Farmer, first man down on the scene. Nelson Dews was there with them. Jamelion Jones. Chatham doesn't have bad field position, though. It's probably better than their average. They'll start from their own 25-yard line. It's not desperation time yet for Chatham, Mr. Briggs, but, boy, you really would like to cap off a nice drive here with some points and cut the lead in half.
Yeah, you're trailing by 3 possessions. It is go time for the Cavaliers.
Bob Alvis also mentioning to us, folks, Appomattox is in a delay right now due to weather. EC Glass is in a weather delay. So like I said, hopefully that means we got a few more of you folks tuning in. You're jumping in your cars to try and escape the rain. We're certainly glad to have you. Colonels lead 27-7, but it hasn't always been that easy for them. Altavista struggled at points here tonight, and Chatham has taken advantage at points. Passing play on first down for the Cavaliers. Roll out by Preston. Throws a line drive that bounces a yard in front of his intended target.
Well, we're starting to see the wind pick up here.
Yeah.
People are kind of scrambling around, getting rain gear on. It's coming here, too. You can feel it.
Yeah, you can feel the temperature dropping, and like you said, you see the wind picking up. You see everybody's head kind of turn up to the sky there to see what they can see as far as the elements hold. And the referees are going to have a say. The athletic director is going to have a say. And whatever they say, we'll repeat it to you and give you all the details. Wishbone formation, one receiver to each side. Toss play. They're going to give to Starling again. Starling hit hard by Matt Aiken, and then a few other Colonel defenders throw him to the deck. Maybe a 1-yard pickup there on the running play, but Altavista had that well diagnosed.
Point of impact, Dante Poindexter. What a collision.
Poindexter doing his usual, bullying people around up front. He's no bully, though. He's the kind of guy, he'll hit you hard, plant you to the turf, and then give you a hand to help you back up. Third quarter is done here from Chatham High School. Fourth quarter underway. Cavaliers football. When you come back, they trail 27-20 against Altavista. You're hearing it all live on 105.5 KD Country.
Prompt, confidential, professional. A-Town Bail Bonds, 434-401-0253. Local, reliable, available 24/7. A-Town Bail Bonds, 434-401-0253. When a friend or family member is arrested and jailed, call a professional. Call Chip Rourke and A-Town Bail Bonds, 434-401-0253. Get answers. Get help. A-Town Bail Bonds, 434-401-0253.
Your station for high school sports play-by-play is 105.5 KD Country.
Colonel's on top, 27-7. It's a 20-point lead for Altavista. I'm Kyle Haney. He's Oscar Briggs. Go, OP.
Well, and you said it hadn't been easy, but, boy, the Colonels have really dominated the ball game. If it weren't for the two turnovers and then the clock mismanagement at the end of the first half, it would be extremely more lopsided than it is now.
Yeah, the Colonels, you're right. For the most part on offense, Altavista has done what they've wanted to. I will say Chatham, though, they've moved the ball in portions and in chunks, but you got to say Altavista's defense has done bend but don't break, as they usually do. Colonel's defense has not given up a touchdown, by the way, either, folks. Chatham scored their only touchdown on a 87-yard fumble recovery. Passing play here from the shotgun. Preston flushed out of the pocket. He does what he can with it, and he picks up about 3 yards here on 3rd and 10. It's not nearly enough for the first down, though, and it looks like the punt team was starting to make their way out onto the field, and I think Coach Paul Grekus might have called a few guys back. I think he wants to go for it here. I think he at least wants to see how much yards he has to gain. It looks to me like it's going to be 4th and 7. The officials are talking. Might have been another one of those late flags. We don't really know. Yeah, they've called Walker Allen into the conversation. So there's a penalty against Chatham somewhere. They're asking number 89, Walker Allen, for the Colonels if he wants to decline this penalty or accept it. And, of course, if you don't know football, folks, that's the way it works. The officials talk to the defensive and offensive captains, and generally the captain will look over there at the coach and say, hey, what do you want me to do? Of course, if you're like a Ray Lewis captain kind of a guy out there, then you don't even look at the sideline. You just answer. I think they declined the penalty.
No, they called that as offsides on the Colonels.
Oh, wow. That's odd. Why would you call Walker Allen into the conversation?
But that's exactly the signal. I checked it with my program.
Provided to us by the Danville Shrine Club.
That's right.
And big thanks to them. They had a nice little ceremony here at halftime telling us about the 61st annual Shrine game. Let's tell you about 3rd and 5 coming up. We thought it might be 4th and 5 or 4th and 6 or 7. 3rd and 5 for the Chatham Cavaliers now. Trey Preston getting his offense organized and mobilized. He's got 2 receivers to each side. They'll snap this from the far hash mark. Passing play, has to get rid of it quickly, and it is complete around the 30-yard line. Charging ahead forward is number 10, Stevie Johnson. Stevie Johnson has enough for the first down. Adams was closing quickly, but he couldn't quite get there in time.
Yeah, Walker Allen in on the stop as well. But again, like you said, just a little bit too late getting to the ball carrier. Nice first down for Chatham.
It was a little bit of a different play for the Chatham Cavaliers. It might have caught the Altavista secondary off guard just a tad.
Receiver certainly was isolated.
Yep. Fresh set of downs here for Chatham. They'll snap this near side hash mark. That's the right hash mark in their own territory, 38-yard line. Taking a little bit of time in the huddle this time. 10:45 left to play. Clock continues to move here in the fourth quarter. Shotgun snap took a while to get back. Handoff play. They're going right up the gut. There's seriously nothing there as the Colonels bottle it up a yard in the backfield. It's number 53, Terrell Robinson, getting off the pile first.
They're on about the 6th play of this drive, and on every play, somebody from the Colonels is shooting a gap, and they're blitzing.
Yep.
They're sending somebody on every play.
Number 63, Travion Clark was also in the backfield as well. Dante Poindexter was lurking close by. He's communicating with the defense right now. Dante Poindexter's going to drop back in a linebacker spot.
I love it.
We don't call him the big cat for nothing, folks. It looks like a 4-3. Now Dante's going to step up. He's still on 2 feet, and he's blitzing. Passing play again on second down for the Cavaliers. Nothing doing. Preston is flushed down out of the pocket for a 1-yard loss.
Boy,
Travion Clark there again, along with Andres Diaz-Escura. Go ahead, OB.
Boy, Dante and somebody from Chatham, they're barking at each other. I love it. Nothing malicious. Both of them clapping and barking at each other.
I like to see Dante Poindexter standing up and rushing. Now, don't get me wrong. He's pretty good from a 3-point stance or a 4-point stance, too. But pretty fun to see the big cat moving around back there 5 yards behind the ball. He's back there again.
Coach Rep's doing some different things here, and you're up by 20 with 9 minutes left. I think it's the right thing to do. I like it.
3 down linemen this time for the Altavista Colonels. Looks like Stephen Farmer over here at the defensive end. 3rd and 8 for the Chatham Cavaliers. Preston's got room to throw this one over the middle. It's picked off. It is intercepted by number 21, Matt Aiken. What a grab. Just stepped in front of the receiver. It was one of those crossing patterns over the middle. Matt Aiken read it well and picked it off.
He had to go down low to get it. That was a great interception.
Nice job by Matt Aiken, the Altavista Colonels. Chatham fans got to feel a little snake-bitten and a little heartbroken right there because they, again, had a little bit of momentum. They were moving the football well, but just can't get anything. And the Colonels now are going to set up shop in Chatham field territory from the Cavalier 46-yard line.
And you got to believe you're going to see a heavy dose of ground attack right now. Burn the clock, protect that 20-point lead, and start to push this Chatham defensive line around.
Yeah, you want to maybe possibly get this game in because of the rain on the way. Hadn't started raining yet, but the wind has definitely picked up. 1st and 10 for the Colonels. They hand it off to Montague. Montague going to go behind the blocking back, Aaron Close. He's stopped right at the line of scrimmage. Never goes to the ground, but his forward momentum is stuffed right there at the line of scrimmage, the 46-yard line of the Cavaliers.
Well, and they certainly, Chatham was expecting run. They're certainly anticipating Altavista running the ball.
The big man, Josh Adams, was there to help out on the stop. He's not the only big guy. You got 321-pounder DeMarcus Irvin, who looks like he's also in on the D-line. 4-4 stacked defense for the Cavaliers. Adams is going to fake the handoff and keep it himself. Tripped up about 4 yards beyond the line of scrimmage. Falls forward to the 41. 5-yard gain on second down for Adams and the Colonels. Pardon me.
And Beasley on with that tackle there.
It brings up 3rd and 5. Colonels have a lot of options here.
Yeah, 3rd and 5 is not a bad situation, and you could go for them 4th down. They're in Cavalier field territory. Offense getting set. Chancellor Mormon taking his time to walk up to the line of scrimmage at the receiver spot. He's got a receiving touchdown so far tonight. They fling it out to another guy that does. Mateo Malback. He's across the 35 down to the 30. Open field tackle by the safety, or pardon me, one of the linebackers for Chatham over there on the far sideline. Aaron Martin on the stop, but it's enough for an Altavista 1st down.
When Chatham set up, they were anticipating a run play.
Jacob Adams is getting a lot better about those quick little swing passes, isn't he, Oscar? He catches that snap and flips it out there pretty quick. Now the umbrellas are coming out, as everybody in the press box mentions. It's about to start raining hard, I think. You're seeing some fans head to the exits as well. Score has something to do with that, too. Colonels up 20. Adams dancing around a couple would-be tacklers, still on his feet at the 1st down marker, close to the 19-yard line. That might be finally where he's brought down around that far sideline. 1st down yardage again for the Colonels. 7:25 left to play in the football game, Oscar. 27-7, Altavista up by 20.
Meteorologist Oscar Briggs said it was going to start at 9 o'clock. It's 9:02.
Yeah, that's pretty good. And meteorologists are like officials, right? They can never do anything right. They're only right if you don't notice.
That's right.
Nobody ever says, man, the meteorologist just nailed it on the forecast today. But you're right.
On Channel 10, I say that a lot.
I know you do. You need to start getting paid. Officials stop play momentarily for the chain gang to get set up. Now Altavista is ready to operate again on 1st and 10. They'll snap this one from the Cavalier 19-yard line, far hash mark. Game clock will be under 7 minutes by the time they finally do snap it. Adams takes a look at the defense, makes sure his offense set. Going to catch the shotgun snap, hands it to Nelson Dews. Dews meets some resistance in the backfield and falls forward for a 1 or 2 yard gain.
Colonel's still in no huddle. And this is really the advantage of at home. do have those big 25-second play clocks that you can run the clock down. You've got a little bit more difficulties. You have to turn around and watch the other side of the field.
Yeah, no, that's
to the big scoreboard.
That's a good point. Or you'll have a coach sometimes keep the time when the referee starts it, and he'll yell out, "Hey, 5 seconds." Yep. Exactly. But you're right. The play clocks at Altavista are a big advantage when you have a lead and you're trying to milk the clock away. Ooh, busted play. Adams wanted to flip it to his left, and the running back went right. Adams is going to keep it. He's across the 15, slides his way to the 10 now. Ankle tackle drops him around the 7. Busted play that could have been a lot worse if it weren't for some really good blocking, actually, by the Colonels, Oscar.
Yeah, it could have been way worse because he was handling that ball around like it was a loaf of bread. It could have been ugly quick.
He wanted to pitch it to his left on a toss play. Running back went right. Miscommunication there. Adams did a 360, spinning around looking for a teammate, and then he finally decided best thing for me to do is just take off and run. It worked out well.
And the skies have opened up here in Chatham.
1st and goal from the 7-yard line for the Colonels. Pulling guard. They give it to Montague. Montague's in. Touchdown, Jonathan Montague and the Altavista Colonels as the rain begins to pour down. The Colonels pouring on the points. 33-7 Altavista expanding the lead here on the road at Chatham. Extra point on the way, Oscar.
Yeah, and that was a huge hole. We had a great angle at it. It was obvious he was going to get into the end zone, and he wrapped that ball up tight, both hands.
Believe he ran behind Stephen Farmer. Nice job by the entire offensive line, but big props to Farmer for helping pave the way for another Colonel touchdown at the feet of Jonathan Montague. Snap gets back to Adams on the hold. Kick is a booming one that will end up in center field on the baseball field. 34-7. Colonel stretching out the lead as the rain starts to pile on here in Chatham. 5 minutes and 53 seconds remaining in the football game on 105.5 KD Country.
Apple Auto Glass is your windshield repair and replacement center in Lynchburg. You get a free car wash with all windshields replaced in the shop. Apple Auto Glass wants the fans to enjoy the boys of fall this high school football season.
When I feel that chill, smell that fresh cut grass, I'm back in my helmet, cleats, and shoulder pad. Kings of the school, man, where the boys of fall.
Apple Auto Glass salutes the boys of fall.
Here's more award-winning high school sports with Kyle and Oscar on 105.5 KD Country.
Just under 6 minutes to play in the Select Air fourth quarter. The air is thick and heavy with rain here at Chatham High School, Oscar. It's coming down in buckets and sheets, but one positive, no thunder and lightning just yet, so I think we're going to be able to go ahead and finish the game.
Yeah, and even if with 5 minutes left and a 27-point lead, if there's any kind of substantial delay, I think you'll see the athletic directors call the game.
Yeah, I think you're right, and that's generally the policy. The athletic directors will get together and say, do you just want to call this and give the team that's up a win? Now, obviously, you don't see that if the game's a little bit closer. Colonel set to kick off again after another touchdown. It's 34-7 Altavista. Jonathan Montague on the last rushing touchdown. Walker gets a big foot into this, and it drives it into the end zone for a touchback. Interestingly enough, it's Walker's first touchback of the night. Usually it doesn't take the fourth quarter to get that.
No, if they win the coin toss, it's usually the first one.
Yep. Allen has been his usual self, though, with good kickoffs, starting Chatham with not very good field position. He's been good on the extra points. He caught that one pass where he took some contact. He's made some tackles. Walker Allen, a very complete football game, and that's his 15th touchback of the year. Rain actually looks like it's subsiding a little. I mean, it's still raining, don't get me wrong, but it's not raining as hard.
It's down to a deluge now.
That's awesome. I love it when you scour the dictionary and find these English language words that, well, don't limit yourself to the English language either. If you want to bust into some other stuff, deluge almost sounds like it's probably French origin. So Cavaliers are going to go under center again. They try the fullback dive. It got really met in the backfield. That looks like Peyton Aston in there at quarterback now for Chatham. So they've made a change and maybe shuffling some new players in. 2-yard loss that time on the carry. Altavista's defense still licking their chops and going hard here. 5:25 left to play in the Select Air fourth quarter. It's a 34-7 Altavista lead. The crowd here at Chatham has been drastically cut due to the weather, and like I said, the score has something to do with that too. Handoff play this time goes to Victor Starling. Starling trying to bounce his way in and out of the Altavista defense, gets it back to the original line of scrimmage. Maybe not a whole lot else. 2 or 3 yard pickup there by Starling and the Chatham Cavaliers.
Jake Adams waiting on him and got him coming off the bottom of the pile.
We've called Traquan Farmer's name a few times, Oscar, but I think he's played a great football game. He's been in on a lot of stops. Timeout on the field by the Chatham Cavaliers. Let's take it with them. 4:43 left to play in the football game. It's a 34-7 Altavista lead on 105.5 KD Country.
Bank with the local team. Bank of the James on Main Street in Altavista. Stop by our office today to talk with Bobby Walker and his team of local bankers to learn about local banking with Bank of the James. We offer a full line of personal and business banking products and services, including online banking and bill pay, personal and commercial loans and lines of credit, and mortgage loans. Bank with the local team. Bank of the James. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
More live high school sports action on 105.5 KD Country.
Just under 5 minutes left to play here from Tightsqueeze. Chatham High School to site. Altavista Colonels on top, 34-70. It's been hard fought, though. It was 14-7 for a good part of this ball game. It was 14-7 at halftime. But the Colonels' defense, Oscar, has really done a number. I mean, they've allowed some yards, but they've tightened up. Look at Dante Poindexter, the middle linebacker, ready to blitz, and he's in the backfield. They toss it to Starling. Starling's got some room to run on the near sideline. Now shoveled out of bounds by Jamilion Jones. Poindexter was just a half a step too late. He had great penetration, couldn't quite get to Starling, and Starling made his way across the line of scrimmage.
Jones has had a nice little game tonight. We've called his name several times.
Jamilion Jones, you're right, is a guy that we hadn't talked about a lot coming into tonight, but he's a good player. Playing the cornerback spot tonight, and he has been in on quite a few stops. Colonel shuffle some new personnel in there. Chancellor Mormon checking back in the game on the defensive side. That's the thing. Altavista can just keep bringing more and more guys at you. Entire linebacking crew showed blitz. Colonels had 8 guys up on that line of scrimmage, and one of them might have jumped offside a little bit early, although there was some movement on the Chatham side as well. Get the official word. They'll call it on the Altavista Colonels. Colonels, like I said, they're aggressive. They're licking their chops, and that's good to see for the Altavista defense, Oscar, because, as you mentioned, they played back on their heels some this year, but not tonight.
No, but maybe there was one drive right after one of those turnovers that they looked like they were a little bit complacent, but for the most part, they've been very aggressive tonight.
Yeah, that's a valid statement by you. You're right. They had some moments there, and Chatham certainly had a hand in that, the way they were running the football hard, like here on the fullback dive. That's Mateo Malback that has to cut George Grekus down 7 yards past the line of scrimmage. And then again, more great sportsmanship. Mateo Malback makes the stop and then helps him up. He may have done some damage to George Grekus' leg there. Grekus is just trying to walk it off. Malback's going to check out of the game in favor of a substitute.
And Grekus has no choice.
Yeah.
But he got him right about middle of the shin, it looked like.
Yeah, Malback went low. That's a trait that runs in the family. Michi Malback loved to tackle low like that as well. Grekus not in good shape right now. We hope it's nothing serious. I formation this time for the Cavaliers. They'll hand it to Starling. Dante Poindexter was on the ground but had a hand on his jersey and just wouldn't let him go anywhere. And then a couple Colonels came in to clean him up for the tackle.
With the work that Dante's done in the weight room, he gets a hold of you. You're not getting away from it.
Incredible. The human wrecking ball making tackles even from his backside. He just reached up and grabbed a handful of jersey and held on to Victor Starling while the rest of the cavalry came in and mopped him up.
And Dante looks like he's had a fun ball game tonight.
Yeah, I agree. They're playing him at linebacker. He's moving around. He's done his usual work on the offensive side as a blocking back. Complete performance tonight for him. And look at this. Football comes out. I think Chancellor Mormon has it. Football popped out. Colonels recover. It's Chancellor Mormon on the grab. Don't know who shook it loose because there were several Colonels in the area, including, but not limited to, DeAndre Jones and also Ethan Young, I believe, might have been the guys that were in there popping that football out.
I was diverted. I didn't even get a chance to watch that play. I was watching Dante and one of the Chatham players just absolutely go at it. Clean, part of the play, but it was fun to watch. Boy, it's driving rain again.
Yeah, it's picked up again, and it kind of has the feeling that it might stay steady like this for a while. Colonels have some of their other personnel in the football game now, so they feel pretty good about the victory being in hand. 2:04 left to play here in the Select Air fourth quarter. 34-7. Colonels on top after a fumble recovery by Chancellor Mormon. That's probably going to pretty much ice it away. They hand it off. I believe it's Irvin Dale on the carry that time for Altavista. A couple Cavaliers in on the stop for the home team. 5-yard pickup for Irvin Dale. And it'll bring up 2nd and 5 for the Altavista Colonels. If they can get one first down, they can take a knee and pretty much end it. They might be able to take a knee without getting the first down, as the clock is now at 90 seconds left to play in this football game. Colonels are going to ride off into the rain, not the sunset, but they'll ride off into the rain with a pretty good, hard-fought victory in a game where they made some mistakes, but they played so well, not even going to notice it when the final score is posted. Dale's looking over at the sideline. He is trying to milk that play clock down to 2 or 1 seconds. Quarterback keeper right here. This is not Irvin Dale. This is Christian Gilbert, running the quarterback spot.
And there's your first down on a nice hard-fought run from him. A great effort. Picking his way downfield. First down, 52 seconds. Clock continues to run.
Looked like number 9, Riley Bradley, actually lost both shoes on the play.
Yeah, and
that's how hard he was playing.
That's right. They're not even stopping the clock to move the chains. And that's a great job by this officiating crew, too.
Yep, 40 seconds left. Colonels, I guess they have to run one more play. Maybe it'll be the kneel down. Christian Gilbert might get under center and do the honors, or maybe they'll just run a running play. No, he's under center. I think they're going to kneel it down. And that'll wrap it up. Yep, 34-7. The Altavista Colonels get the victory in a game that was close for a while. It was 14-7 at halftime. Colonels, well, they do what they did last week. They pull away in the second half. Final buzzer will sound here in just one moment. We'll take it to the Subway postgame show. Altavista moves to 4-2 on the year with a 34-7 victory over the Chatham Cavaliers. And you heard it all live on 105.5 KD Country.
Installing Atrium vinyl replacement windows is like an investment in your home that can begin to pay dividends right away. You can save up to 30% or more on your home's heating and cooling costs. Add to your home's equity and add to its value by upgrading its looks and energy efficiency. Custom crafted Atrium vinyl replacement windows. Invest in your home's future with English's.
English's is your complete home center.
Business 29, Altavista.
Finch and Finch Funeral and Cremation Service. A family serving family since 1905.
Life is full of opportunities to show someone we love them. One such opportunity is the funeral or memorial service. Finch and Finch helps you celebrate the relationships they shared and honors the memory of your loved one.
Finch and Finch Funeral and Cremation Service. A family serving family since 1905.
The Altavista Office of Economic Development invites Altavista area residents to participate in selecting a new marketing slogan for the town and developing a new marketing campaign. You can choose from one of 4 choices. For more information, stop by the Office of Economic Development at Town Hall. Deadline to vote on your favorite Altavista slogan is next Friday, October 16th.
Hello, this is Jerry Miley from 1433 Altavista Moose Center. It's asking everybody to come on down and join us and see what the Moose is all about to help us support our Moose Heart, Moose Haven family. Anybody's welcome to come down and take a tour of our building and see what's going on. Come on down and we'll let you in and we can have some fun. We're looking forward.
Meet Jerry and the rest of the Altavista Moose family and become a member. The Altavista Moose Family Center on Lynch Mill Road.
Back to the press box for high school sports on 105.5 KD Country.
Subway post-game show has arrived. Colonels are a winner, 34-7 over the Chatham Cavaliers. Oscar and I will bring it back with the Radio Shack player of the game. We'll recap everything that happened, and we'll try and get you some scores from around the area. A bunch of people stuck in a weather delay, and we should probably feel fortunate that we got this one in. It did start raining there at the end, but we got the football game finished, and the Colonels got their 4th victory of the 2015 campaign. Subway postgame show returns right after this on 105.5 KD Country.
Hey guys, this is Terrell Salmon at Best Bet Motor Sales. Stop wasting time running all over town to these car lots that advertise easy finance and easy credit. Come on by and see us here at Best Bet Motor Sales. We have guaranteed credit approval, low down payments, warranty on all vehicles, and vehicles more than affordable starting at only $59.95. You can check out our inventory at bestbetmotorsales.com. You can check out our weekly specials on Facebook. Or better yet, come on by and see us. Best Bet Motor Sales on 29 South.
It's a good show, man.
Man, that was awesome.
Loud crowd. All house salad time.
I'll bring it on.
Yes, sir.
Okay, you're going to have to do the encore tonight, buddy.
No, they want to see your face.
They're chanting your name.
Not yet, man. They're saying Brett.
Well, I'm taking this with me.
No. I'll hold it for you.
Seriously, don't touch my salad.
Time for my encore now, son.
The house salad. Grilled chicken atop mixed greens, cucumbers, Roma tomatoes, cheddar and jack cheeses, and fried onions. Served with Texas toast. Zaxby's, indescribably good.
Zaxby's, Wards Ferry Road, Lynchburg. This broadcast is brought to you by the members of the KD Country Sports Club.
Chef's Drive-In, where the shake machine is shaking and dozens of flavors to choose from.
One Stop Mart, where the gas is cheap, the beverages are cold, and the chicken is kicking.
El Cerrito Altavista. Throw on a sombrero, shake your maracas, it's El Cerrito time.
Altavista Medical and Oncology Massage Therapy, Broad Street, can help relieve your pain.
Vista Foods Altavista, your hometown grocery with the freshest produce and best meats.
McDonald's in Altavista, committed to the community and bringing the world's favorite food.
Steve Farmer Auto Sales, Main Street Altavista, best deals on wheels.
Colonel's Football is brought to you by the Sports Club on KD Country.
Your high school sports station with award-winning coverage on 105.5 KD Country.
Subway postgame show returns here from Tightsqueeze, Chatham High School. Cavaliers fall to the Altavista Colonels 34-7. I'm Kyle Haney. He is Agent Zero, Oscar Briggs. Big O, before we talk about the game, let me first send a special thank you and shout out to our producer, Eleanor Haney. Boy, she really got us jacked up and got us going earlier in the day. Not that we were like down and like, oh, I really don't want to be here, but she got us pumped up. It put us in a good mood. We had fun here tonight.
Absolutely. We had a ball, and it helps that we know some people here, and they're in and out of the press box. And we saw some sights here tonight, some interesting things. It was pretty neat.
It was pretty neat. It's always fun coming down here to Chatham, but you're right. It's fun. It's fun. We know people everywhere, but we do know some folks down here, and it was fun. Hey, another shout-out to our buddy who you've heard on these football games, Mr. Dennis Jarvis, the Altavista economic director, and the tagline is still going on. They've got it down to the final 4, and here's your choices right now for the new Altavista tagline, slogan, catchphrase, however you want to call it. You know what we're talking about. First choice is Altavista alive with the spirit of rivers and rails. Second choice is where tradition meets innovation. Third choice is moving forward with tradition and spirit. And the fourth choice, and the final of the final 4, is treasured past, innovative future. Your take, Mr. Briggs.
Ain't no big thing, but it's growing. No.
Gretna's already got that.
That's right.
But, hey, we'll see the Hawks in a few weeks. No, you need more time to think about that. You don't want to just give me a pick right now.
No, all of them are valid.
They are
viable options, and you can't go wrong with any of those.
No, you can't. And the tagline is going to go on a little bit more. Visit the Town of Altavista website, the Altavista on Track website, and all those programs are involved, and you can vote on it and give your insight. Okay, let's talk some football again. Colonels got out to a 14-0 lead. First touchdown was a Jacob Adams pass to Mateo Malbach. Malbach got the sideline, made some nice moves in there, and scored. Next touchdown was a Nelson Dews rushing touchdown where he really showcased some blazing speed. And at that moment, we felt, all's pretty good right now with the Colonels. This game's going like it's supposed to go. Then things changed a little bit, Oscar.
It was the Witcher 87-yard fumble return as the Colonels were driving, getting ready to get into the end zone. That really turned the tide, and Colonels took a 14-7 lead into the halftime. Coming out of the half, it was a 55-yard Chancellor Mormon reception from Jake Adams. And then Adams got on the board himself with a 5-yard TD run, making it 27-7. Fourth quarter was capped off with a 10-yard Jonathan Montague touchdown. Hey, 5 different Colonels got into the end zone tonight.
That's pretty awesome. And I'm trying to think of occasions where something like that happens. I mean, I know the Colonels had games where a lot of guys scored last year, but having 5 different guys score 5 touchdowns, pretty impressive. Makes it pretty tough on the defense, too. They can't key on just one fella.
I think they showcased, some weapons tonight. They showcased some depth, some versatility. Great game offensively for the Colonels. If it weren't for the turnovers, it would have been pure domination. I think when the stats are finalized tomorrow, you'll see a pretty big discrepancy.
Yeah, they racked up a lot of yardage, and I will say this about the turnovers and some of the mistakes. That allowed the Colonels some other opportunities. They were able to overcome some adversity. I mean, some young teams, you fumble the ball away around the goal line, and they'll fold up shop. Not the Colonels. They bounced back well, so that's another good feather in their cap. One final time out here on the Subway postgame show. We bring it back with the Radio Shack Player of the Game Award. We put a bow on the box, and we head on out of here. It was the Colonels 34, the Cavaliers 7. You heard all the action live. When you're home for award-winning high school sports coverage, 3-peat winners by the Virginia Association of Broadcasters. You heard it all live on 105.5 KD Country.
Unfortunately, I have some bad news.
How bad is it, Doctor?
We've done all we can. Your heat pump's not gonna make it.
Oh, no.
Honey, it's going to be okay. We'll call Select Air Mechanical and Electrical, 332-2600. With over 60 years experience, they'll have us comfortable again in no time.
I recommend Select Air to all my patients. Call 332-2600 or visit selectairmechanical.com. They can handle all your home comfort needs, and they're an authorized trained dealer. It's hard to stop a train.
Short drive will save you money.
In the market for a new Chevrolet? Fellers Chevrolet.
FellersDirect.com.
For a huge selection of new Chevrolets and pre-owned vehicles, it's Fellers Chevrolet.
FellersDirect.com.
FellersDirect.com. Selection. Convenience. Fellers Chevrolet.
Fellers Chevrolet.
Always open and only a click away.
FellersDirect.com.
A short drive will save you money. Fellers Chevrolet in Altavista.
The Village Barbershop, an old-school 1960s-style barbershop, offering classic and current cutting techniques for gentlemen and boys. No appointment necessary. Responsible pricing in a clean family environment. Village Barbershop, open Tuesday through Friday, 8 to 6, Saturdays till noon. Stop by and see Danny Barber at Village Barbershop, serving Altavista and surrounding areas from 619 Broad Street. Give them a try.
Now back to the action with Colonel Sports on 105.5 KD Country.
Colonels win 34-7. You heard it all live on 105.5 KD Country. I'm Kyle Haney. He is Agent Zero Oscar Briggs, and we're wrapping it up here on the Subway postgame show. But again, we want to thank Subway for everything that they do. Always smiling faces in there. They don't mind when we laugh and joke around and have a good time. Really a great experience when you go to Subway, and it's not just us they treat like that. They'll treat everybody like family. Heck, probably treat you better than family. But I'm just saying, just going to throw that out there, not to use the Phil Mickelson or perhaps the Elizabeth Haney line, but
Phil Mickelson using the wrong golf ball yesterday.
Hey, we can't get into that. Let's get into the Radio Shack Player of the Game. Brought to you by Radio Shack on Main Street in Altavista, Oscar. And I talked earlier about how it's more than just batteries and cables and stuff in there. They've got White's Music Shop with some guitars, some drumsticks, musical instruments. If you're a guitarist, and you're around, say, Altavista, Gretna, Brookneal, all points in between, you don't really want to have to drive to Lynchburg or Danville or something to get, a set of strings. You break a string, great, I got to jump in the car and drive 45 minutes. No, you go to Radio Shack, Main Street in Altavista. They've got it there. I don't know if I usually, but I have been going first. I'll go first for the Chatham Cavaliers. I got to give it to the fullback, George Grekus. He's a senior. He's been around this program for a while, obviously. His father's the head coach, working hard. And he really provided the big spark, honestly, for the Cavaliers on that fullback dive. I mean, it seems like a simple play, but they were hitting it so quick. And that was about the only time, when they had success with that, Oscar, that was about the only time the Colonels' defense was on their heels. So I'm going George Grekus, the burly fullback.
Yeah, he was on my top two. The other one's Victor Starlin, and I'm going to go with Starlin from the tailback position. He was pretty productive as well from that position, so that's my pick.
Yeah, Starlin's quick. He's got some moves. Honorable mention, obviously, to Kwali Witcher, who housed the long fumble recovery for a touchdown. Okay, for the Colonels, there's a guy that we talked about a whole lot on the defensive end, but some on the offensive end. I think you know who I'm talking about, but there's another guy that I really want to give recognition to. So do you want me to let you pick one and I'll pick the other? Or do you want me to do a co-player of the game?
No, I'm going to trump you.
Oh, he trump card. This is incredible.
Yeah, I am. I'm going with Coleman Teagarden, Stephen Farmer.
Here we go.
Ethan Young, Trayvon Clark, Ken Brumfield, Kagan Cox. Boy, the offensive line was so good tonight.
I love it.
Ripping off those 20-yard plays. They were downfield, pushing through blocks. Just a superb job by a very experienced offensive line that for the last couple of years probably hadn't got as much credit as they deserved. Certainly tonight they were a dominant force against a decent Chatham defensive line.
Yeah, linemen are used to not getting credit, right? I mean, they know they're not going to put, who made the key block when a guy scored a touchdown and the box scored. No, they just put who scored the touchdown. But the linemen are so important. They work hard. I love that pick. I think it's great. How many times do we see Stephen Farmer, 6, 7, 10 yards downfield, just blocking a guy through the whistle? Great stuff. All right, that means I get to go with my combo pick.
That's right.
Of course, one of them's got to be the human wrecking ball, the big cat, Dante Poindexter, who we now call linebacker Dante Poindexter. I mean, he's playing everywhere. I love it. He does this thing on the offensive side, too, as a blocking back. So Dante Poindexter's one. I mean, the other guy I got to pick, I got to throw some recognition to, junior Chancellor Mormon with the long touchdown grab, 55-yard touchdown reception. And like we said, on every other play, he's just out there knocking people down so the other running backs and receivers can score. Physical, great blocker out there on the edge. He's a good defender, too. So that's my combo play.
Well, and how good a second quarter did Nelson Dews have?
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, we could have gone Jonathan Montague. You're going to see huge yards out of him. Jacob Adams had a great night throwing the ball. I mean, there were just so many different ways we could have gone. Just a huge balanced attack tonight from the Colonels. Boy, they look good.
It was balanced on defense, too. We called a lot of different names. Remember Traquan Farmer being in on a lot of stops. Matt Aiken. Aiken had the pick late that kind of sealed the deal.
Forced fumble and a pick.
Right. Yeah, it was a team night for sure. And so very fitting that you picked the O-line, a bunch of guys, for your pick. Hey, our team is somebody we really can't ever do without. We're so glad these people help bring you Colonel football around the world, not just in the Central Virginia area. Remember, anywhere around the world. We'd like to thank El Cazador on Main Street in Altavista. Our very own Lori Johnson was in there eating earlier. I think they had the game on. So big shout out to Lori and Stephen and everybody up there at El Cazador. We'd also like to thank Tyree Little's Heating and Cooling, keeping you cool in the summer, warm in the winter, and comfortable in between. Bank of the James, we're making a difference in banking and in our community. Best Bet Motors, a respected name you can trust with quality vehicles, Route 29 just south of the airport. The Village Barbershop, family-style barbershop offering current and classic cutting techniques for gentlemen and boys. Say that 3 times fast. Sometimes I can't even say it 1 time fast. Hey, how about PCM Industrial Services, serving the Mid-Atlantic region with quality maintenance and construction services. A-Town Bail Bonds, be good, but if you can't be good, call Chip Rourke. Feller Chevrolet, a short drive will save you money. English Construction, wishing our high school athletes an exciting and injury-free game. The Altavista Office of Economic Development. Don't forget, the tagline slogan is down to the final 4. Make sure your voice is heard. Vote on that Altavista tagline. First National Bank, focused on providing an extraordinary customer experience. English is your complete home center and your headquarters for Atrium Vinyl Windows. That come in handy on a rainy night like tonight when you need to keep the moisture out, huh? Don't forget about Zaxby's, Wards Ferry Road in Lynchburg. Daringly flavorful, absolutely craveable. Remember, that's a Zalad that they're talking about in those commercials. Z-A-L-A-D. What in the Davy Jones is a salad? Altavista Moose Family Center, bringing communities closer together and celebrating life. Go see Jerry Motley and the gang at the Altavista Moose Center and become a member. Select Air, Mechanical, and Electrical. An authorized train dealer. It's hard to stop a train. Highview Motors, from small to tall, Highview has it all. Apple Auto Glass, mobile service with pickup and delivery. They're celebrating the boys of fall. And you can't forget about Finch and Finch Funeral and Cremation Services, a family serving family since 1905. And I tell you, Oscar, one special shout-out to the Finch family. Not sure you're going to find too many families doing more for the town of Altavista and the Central Virginia area in general than the Finch and Finch folks. And you know, one thing I've always said about Finch and Finch in that line of work, they can't take a day off. You know, they can't have a bad game because you're talking about people's families, people's mothers, people's fathers, people's sons and daughters. And Finch and Finch never does. I mean, they get it right every time. And then they go the extra mile with helping out in all these other extracurricular things.
Yeah, boy, certainly people are vulnerable and, you know, emotionally bare, and they do just such a great job handling the families and making sure that they're as comfortable as you can possibly be with that situation.
It's going to do it for us, folks. Remember, if you listen online at kdcountry.com or with the TuneIn app, you can thank your Allstate agent in Windhurst. That's Mr. Chad Rakos. Football fans always in good hands with Allstate agent Chad Rakos. This is the Subway post-game show. Usually I screw that up and say something else. We'll wrap it up here from Chatham High School. The Colonels get the win, 34-7 on the road. Next week, Appomattox Raiders coming to town. Boy, that's going to be a doozy. You do not want to miss that. Raiders have a great football team, and I think that at least on paper anyway, Colonels might end up being the underdog coming into that game. Hey, don't tell that to the Colonels football players, though. They're chomping at the bit, ready to go. Big win tonight. We'll talk to you again next Friday. Subway pregame show starts around 6:30. All the action's live on 105.5 KD Country.